just for him to feel the flame. Do this for the love of the game. Call it for a flame. How do I promote this? I don't even know how to. Damn, I am not prepared to stream on this. I said I take. How do I? How do I said I take. What's up, Gangy? I was literally watching that video and I got this notification. LMAO. What's up, big dog? This is gonna be good. It's the big graps. Never the little one, only the biggest. Okay, wait, I'm still promoting this. Wait, let me post on here. I said I take no money, you know, me take no money. Damn, there's hella comments coming in. Okay, wait, all right. What's up, PG? What's up? Hashtag what we do. Face reveal question mark. I revealed my face a couple times now. I did a face cam video for my 5K special. For my mic is kind of far. For my 5K special, it was completely face. For my, I think I had like a thank you video where it was like my entire face, and there was some other time I showed my face. But yeah, I mean, and I'm also on social media like showing my face. I'm not hiding or anything. Where you get that do-rag from, let me know. So this is actually not a do-rag. This is called a buff. It's from Show Survivor. It's like just a head wrap shit. I get it from ParamountPlus.com or something like that. But they have a bunch of them. You can just Google buff, BUFF headwear, put you on game. You're welcome. Blah 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 blah. My favorite bench player was good. Yeah. Favorite bench player, 6-man of the year, I guess. Oh well, here we go. Monashio 2 notable bench player pro grabs. Jane looks stoned in this video, not gonna lie. Alright, here's what we're not gonna do. I have 20 people in here. This is exciting. We are not going to, I'm not here to talk shit, not here to talk bad on anyone, right? It is all love, all peace. I don't know what's said in this video. All I know is I'm linked and I read something that he says my channel name or whatever, and so yeah. Damn. Okay. Thoughts on Pat McAfee dropping a new album? Don't want to hear it, to be honest. I got 2 water bottles for this because the video is over an hour. That's that. I got a Chipotle burrito because I'm gonna need food for this. And yeah, I guess I want to also explain, like, a lot of people. Okay, my video did way better than I thought it was going to, and reached the attention of a lot of people I did not think it would. Which shouts out the algorithm for letting it go that as far as it did. More importantly though, I feel like a lot of people didn't understand my video for the most part. I feel like a lot of people think my video is hate or disrespect to other creators or whatnot. It wasn't, literally. It's just my opinion on the state of things. And yeah, like I said, I don't have personal smoke with nobody. I don't have beef. I think these people are cool. I imagine, you know what I'm saying, like, I'm sure they're cool people. And yeah, I'm like I said in my video, I was not talking shit about anyone. I just had my opinion on I think thumbnails are redundant. I think a lot of concepts are the same. And what I said is facts. A lot of concepts are the same. There's a lot of Universal videos that are the same. There are a lot of thumbnails that are the same. But like I said, I'm sure these are cool people, right? I don't have any beef or anything lately with them or their content like that deep. Um, and yeah, some people, I don't dive into it, but it's cool that the people that it was meant to reach in terms of the creators, it did reach them, and a lot of them understood it, which is cool. Like I'm grateful my video was able to be seen by the people it was seen by, but more importantly, able to be heard and understood, because the message isn't criticizing a person or personality, but literally talking about the state of content, which what it was. Yeah, I don't know if he's talking shit about me. I don't know. Like I said, we're not talking shit about him. You know what I'm saying? As a PG familia, we are not talking shit even after this video. Cause beef is weak. Who cares, right? Um, and yeah, I'm gonna just pull up the chat on my second thing over here, so I don't have to keep looking back and forth. Okay. All right, I'm going to hit play on the video, ladies and gentlemen. Also, let me know if y'all can hear the video when it starts playing. I have 48 people in this bitch. That is crazy. All right, I'm gonna hit play on the video. Let me know if y'all can hear it. If not, let me know, because I don't want to just be watching a muted video to y'all. I'm gonna hit play and then stop a couple seconds. Y'all let me know if y'all can hear it.
A couple of months ago, I started to feel very weird about my channel and my content. And I didn't know exactly what I was feeling, but I felt disconnected to it. And it confused me because it's not like I don't.
Y'all able to hear the video? Yes or no? Someone let me know, por favor, before I keep playing. Yes? No? Maybe so? Yep, we can hear. All right, bet. All right, we watching this video. All right, let's see how it is, man.
A couple of months ago, I started to feel very weird about my channel and my content. And I didn't know exactly what I was feeling, but I felt disconnected to it. And it confused me because it's not like I don't like making videos. I have such a passion for making content, but I felt disconnected. And I was trying to figure out what exactly that was for the last couple of months. A part of me thought maybe it was having...
It's louder than me. Oh, oopsie. Yeah, as y'all can see, I'm not a streamer, right? Let me lower myself. Turn mic up a little. I don't know. It says my mic is as loud as it could be. I think I'm just far, to be honest. I'm also gonna be eating, so I don't want to be all up in the mic. I turned the YouTube stuff down a little bit. It should be lower than my mic now, I think. Let me know how it sounds.
Kid be here as my editor, you know what I mean? And he's more of the guy that is in control of what happens in the actual post-production in the video, whereas before I'd be in complete control of it. And I thought maybe that was it. Maybe it's just the videos are out of my hands now. But even that, I don't think it's that, because Kid brings my ideal vision for what I want in a video. He brings it to life without me having any of the actual advanced editing skills that he has. So I was trying to navigate.
Screaming over here, what a lame. Yeah, I know. Your mic is decent volume, but when the video plays, it kind of drowns you out. That's fine. I'll pause it when I have to talk.
Well, why do I feel this way? And then a couple of days ago, I came across this video. It's a video from a smaller YouTuber named Prograps called Wrestling YouTube is Still Awful. And I've seen this sentiment being thrown around for a long time now, not even just recently, but it's brought up all the time, how wrestling is generic, lifeless, soulless content. And to be honest with you, a big portion for me clicking on this video at all was because I had expected to see myself in this video. When I saw the title and I saw the thumbnail, I said, I wonder what has to be said about me. And sitting back, I go, well, first of all, yikes, how narcissistic is that I think that I'm gonna be brought up in this video? But I also thought, well, why did I think that? You know what I mean? I'm not, ashamed of my content. I'm proud of what I do, and that will be something that I reiterate multiple times in this video, but I still was like, damn, well, if that's the case, then why did I expect to hear myself about it? To hear myself involved in this group of people? And then when watching this video, I saw 3 creators get shouted out that made me have to sit back and really think about it. I saw him shout out X3, Phoenix Nitro, and Deontay DDJ. 3 creators whose creativity I've always respected publicly and privately. 3 people that I, have done content with. And hearing those guys specifically, he shouted out a lot of creators, but those guys specifically, people that I know, maybe I have to sit back and go, wow, I really hate being roped in with the generic YouTuber conversation. But I'd be lying if I said that I'm not capable and have not contributed to it myself. But I also think that my 13 years of doing YouTube and my passion for making content and my motivation behind what I do is not something that can be explained in 5 minutes by somebody that doesn't know who I am. So welcome back to the Yap Sesh. I'm Small Afro, somebody who's been...
I mean, I'm not gonna say I don't know who you are, Small Afro. I remember when you were Small Afro Gaming back in the day and you had like the CM Punk band and you used to make multiplayer videos. Like I've known of Small Afro for a long time now. I don't keep up to date with like the more modern stuff he does, I'll be honest. But Small Afro it definitely isn't a creator I like just heard of or anything like that. I've known about him since the multiplayer days. But yeah, all love still, no beef. I ain't mad. All right, let's go.
Been described as a generic wrestling YouTuber with no passion for his craft and a soulless personality. Yeah. So this is going to be a very different tone for a video than you're used to. You know what I mean? I'm going to be talking...
Wait, did he quote me? Was that my quote?
No passion for his craft. Sesh. I'm Small Afro, somebody who's been described as a generic wrestling YouTuber with no passion for his craft and a soulless personality.
I wasn't describing you as that. I was saying I was not describing you as that, dog. I was describing the content as what. All right. Okay. Okay. Sure.
Yeah. So this is going to be a very different tone for a video than you're used to. You know what I mean? I'm going to be talking very honestly and truthfully, which I feel like I always do, but this is going to be more of a serious tone. I don't have really too many jokes written for this video, but I want to be honest because you know what I mean? I feel like accountability is important. I feel like no matter how many subs I have, and this has been the case since day one, I don't want to shy away from acknowledging when I have done something wrong. I feel like that's important to do because I want you guys to know that, hey, listen, I can be wrong. I think it's okay to be wrong, and I think it's okay to admit, hey, I fucked up. I feel like a lot of people, you know, have this chip on their shoulder where like, you know, I'm in this position where you can't tell me shit. No, you can tell me shit. My shit stinks. So what I really want to do in this video, and you're going to see a lot of cuts in here because the first half of this video, for the first time ever, is scripted. I wrote down exactly my thoughts because I didn't want to get any of my words twisted up. I think I've done a lot of these videos in the past where I just kind of flow and I don't really think about sometimes exactly what point I'm trying to get across until it comes out of my mouth. And that's not for a video like this. And my goal here is to not come off as too defensive because I am going to be saying a lot of stuff in regards to me, right? I'm brought up in this video and I'm talked about in certain aspects of the criticism that are given by ProGrab. And I don't want to be so inexorable to where if somebody says, hey, Jaren, you're doing something wrong, I'm going to be like, this guy's hating, fuck off. No, I'm going to listen to it, but I also feel like I need the platform to respond to it as well. Not sounding like an asshole is going to be impossible in this video. I'm bringing up a lot of other creators and I'm going to be comparing my content to some of the content from people that he was shouting out. And again, it's gonna be hard to defend myself or, you know, acknowledge even some criticisms that are valid without sounding like a narcissistic asshole. So if that's how I'm gonna come across in this video, unfortunately, I'm just gonna have to own it and I'll apologize later. So what I wanna do in this video is first of all, address some of the key talking points from the ProGrabs video that we're mentioning at the start here. I have the video in the description, it's linked. If you guys wanna watch that before you actually watch this video, I do recommend it because I feel like it's gonna put a lot of what I have to say in context. Now, even if I'm not specifically named in the majority of this video, right? I am being roped in with the creators that he has an issue with. So while it's not, I'm sure.
Also, the chat, everybody, like, I know, you know what I'm saying? Like, whether you watch me or you watch him, I also don't want my community to be people that are just like hating on him and shitting on him. That wasn't my intention with the video, by the way, guys. Like, cause I see in chat people talking about like, oh, like, this and that about Small whatever. Like, it's all love. Don't talk shit about him in the chat because just like of what's happening. Like, it's no smoke, literally. Yeah, I'm broadcasting this because I'll be real. I don't want to make a video dedicated to this topic. I just rather do the live stream, get my thoughts out, settle whatever, and just move on to my next video that I'm working on. And yeah, but let's not talk shit as a community. Let's be better than that. You know what I'm saying? All right, yeah.
Entirely personal towards me, it's hard to separate myself because I'm sure entirely creators that he has an issue with. So while it's not I'm sure, entirely personal towards me, it's hard to separate myself because I'm one of the people that you mentioned that is part of the problem. So I can only ever speak for myself. So what I'm gonna do is talk about my involvement in the video and the talking points about my content and my thumbnails and discuss my mentality behind that. I can't talk for other YouTubers like a Chris or a Brandon or a Sandy. I can only talk for myself. So that's why I feel like I can only talk from a personal standpoint about this. Then second, I want to acknowledge, because it's going to be a lot of me being like, well, what about this? I do want to spend a portion of this video talking about my journey through YouTube and my motivations for doing content and how we got here, so that way you can understand my thought process in terms of what video is going out, what thumbnail I'm making, what ideas I have, and also acknowledge the hypocrisy and the flaws that have been there along the way, because I do want to acknowledge that I have not been perfect. You know, I think that's important that you do realize that I can acknowledge when I've done wrong, and I want to spend some time talking about that. And then I want to give my own thoughts about the wrestling YouTube community. I feel like there was a lot of stuff that was not touched on, some stuff that people don't talk about kind of ever, that from somebody in this space, I do feel like I want to talk about, because I feel like maybe why not just, you know, instead of crying for the whole video, I can give my actual constructive thoughts on things I also think need to be changed. And at the very end of this video, I'm going to be shouting out 3 creators who I think deserve some credit and recognition, just like ProGrabs did in his own video. And yeah, I'm gonna shout some people out, not just people that I know. So yeah, let's get into it. So let's talk about this ProGrabs video first. This is what the first section is.
The reason I shouted out people I know is because people I know are people that are just like me in the sense of trying to come up. And it wasn't me shouting people out in the sense of, oh, he's my friend, so I'm going to shout him out. No, I know a lot more other creators I didn't mention, but I mentioned the ones that I feel like deserve shine, the ones that deserve a platform, the ones that deserve to be put in a spotlight more often. Not more often than others, but just more often in general. That's why I mentioned people that I do know. But I mean, I get it, you know, it comes off like, oh, I'm just trying to put my homies on. No, it's literally just me giving shine to people that I do know that genuinely deserve shine. But I mean, I get it. That's how it comes off. It is what it is.
This video is going to be. I honestly really appreciate that a video like this exists, because it creates a conversation, right? I also respect it just from a personal level, because I've always been a big advocate for, you know, not being afraid to be critical about something popular and not, you know, caring about the repercussions or consequences of making a video like that. It's kind of what I'm doing here. And I honestly, I really do appreciate the fact that we can have a conversation like this. You know, he spoke from a very content standpoint specifically, and he didn't come off intentionally disrespectful at all. So my goal here is to do the same. I, again, will be talking about a lot of other creators, but again, I need it to be known that, like, it's all love. You know what I mean? I even had to hit up some creators and be like, hey, listen, just expect this. So let's get into it. I think there's a lot of valid criticisms in this video that I will be talking about a little bit later. But I want to spend this video talking about my literal involvement in this video. First off, before we even get into that, the mention of gooner thumbnails. Now, that while that wasn't specifically aimed at me, we're not going to sit here and pretend like I'm not guilty of that, right? And I mean, listen, I make a lot of gooner jokes. This is a gooner channel, so I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm not guilty of it. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. But a lot of the other non-personal criticisms in that video can also apply to me, and we'll be talking about that. But my literal inclusion in this video, and it's the way that I'm compared to other YouTubers, in my opinion, highlights some of the inconsistencies in some of ProGrabs' arguments. My literal inclusion in this video and the way it's compared to other YouTubers that he does shout out, I feel like discredits a lot of the hard work that I do put in. And I feel like not a lot of things are taken into account about my channel specifically as a tool to further push the narrative about wrestling YouTube as a whole. And it does bother me, and I want to talk about what specifically it was. In talk about thumbnails and repetition in this video, ProGrabs shows 3 of my YouTube thumbnails, right? One of them is a Reddit thumbnail, and the other 2 are the I did blank in every 2K thumbnail in comparison to Brandon and Santi and Chris, and the hot take video that I did
that popped up.
in comparison.
There was text that popped up. I didn't see it. There was a parody of it making fun of the I do blank in every video game concept. I mean, I saw someone commented that it was an April Fool's thing, but also I was picking random thumbnails that were just similar to like other people. I wasn't picking videos when I was talking about the thumbnails also. Like I was just literally talking about thumbnails themselves. Like that was it. Um, yeah, the thumbnails had no correlation with like the video when I was talking about thumbnails, just comparing them to other thumbnails themselves. Yeah.
Video. Prograps shows 3 of my YouTube thumbnails, right? One of them is a Reddit thumbnail, and the other 2 are the I did blank in every 2K thumbnail in comparison to Brandon and Santi and Chris, and the hot take video that I did in comparison again with Asante. And those last 2 bugged me, and it's kind of part of the reason why I'm making this video, because while yes, I make a Reddit video once a week on this channel, and I think it's valid to criticize the unoriginality of a concept like that or the easiness of making a video like that, showing the I did blank in every 2K thumbnail from me specifically would make somebody that doesn't watch my content think that that's a video that I do all the time. And that's kind of my problem here. I've done the every 2K thing maybe twice. I've done a hot take video maybe 3 times. And that does sound like a lot, but I post a lot on this channel. I feel like if you see that portion in the video and you don't watch my content, you don't know who I am, you'll think that those kind of videos, those kind of repetitive videos, which again, I will agree are very repetitive and formulaic, you would think that that's the videos that I make all the time. And that's where my problem comes in, because I feel like the hard work that I do put in is getting discredited a little bit. I make between 200 and 215 videos a year, and that's just talking about long form videos on this channel. We do every other day, and then in March we do every day. It's a lot of videos, and that doesn't include shorts, that doesn't include collabs that I do with other creators, and that doesn't include Vibe. So at the end of the day, I think I'm part of probably 250 to 300 published pieces of content every single year. That's a lot. It's the path that I've chosen for myself. It's the schedule that I made for me, because of that consistency, I can turn this into a full-time career.
Someone said starting beef over Resident 2 is pretty sad. I don't think there is beef. There is no beef. I don't have beef with him. I don't think he has beef with me. It's literally just a response to my video, which is completely valid to have a response. The same way I had an opinion about something, he's just as valid to have his own opinion or respond to. Like, that's completely valid. There's no beef or smoke or anything. It's literally just 2 people talking. I'm also trying to catch up on stuff people saying because I was like watching the video. This guy is natural at stretching a video's length. PG has literally said like 3 times no beef. He said can only take a small creator video so far, unfortunately. You shout out people whose work you admire, which literally is nothing wrong with that. I agree. I know what he means, but people in 2026 take criticism wrong and then beef starts, so I don't want that to happen. Yeah, no, I don't think like I said, there's no beef, and I think there's a line between things, right? There's a line to be able to, I think there's a line of criticism, and then a line, and on the other side of it is disrespect slash hate slash whatever, right? I was on the line of just criticism. That's really it. Especially from not even just a creator's perspective of like, oh, I think everything's the same because I'm trying to get my foot in. No, it's also just from like a viewer's perspective. Like, I watched wrestling YouTube growing up and I want to keep watching it, but because of how I feel about it, I, would just prefer it a different way, which is completely valid also. And yeah, I have something else too I wanted to say there, but I kind of left my mind as I was talking. Um, blah 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 blah. I'm still kind of confused by this point. He's talking about the video and the topic from the video's thumbnails. It's not about the contest of thumbnails. It's Mr. Beast thumbnails, LMAO. Yeah, which I also don't blame these people for that. I more am saying people at the top also diving in that is just causing an ecosystem of that to be a thing in the wrestling community, which I would prefer it not be, just because like in my opinion, like I think the Mr. Beast thumbnails are, I get they work and whatnot, but I just they're to me oversaturated, it's lazy. The thumbnails are lazy, not the work put into the videos, which is also something I wanted to say earlier, but the way I was watching it, I didn't mean for it to come off as I am saying the effort you put into these videos are lazy, small for anything. I imagine they take time to record, edit. I'm burping a lot from this burrito. To record, edit, all that. Like, I imagine, of course, and I imagine you probably have a team too of people. Like, I don't know, but I think, yeah, no, I wasn't calling, if you took it as uh me saying you're not putting in effort, that the effort is lazy in these videos. It's not what I was saying. I'm just saying the ideas themselves are, you know, what, lazy and generic to me. But yeah, like I said, no beef. If you think it's talking about just the video, you're clearly not paying attention. He just points out the hypocrisy. He shouts out dudes does the same Mr. Beast thumbnails. There's a guy who hits IWC YouTubers to the core. Hold my hands up and say that I probably got the wrong end of the stick. That's on me, my bad. You good, man. I commented on a few fair your videos. Seen do a live stream is pretty cool. Thanks, man. I want a burrito. I got one from Chipotle. I think it's pretty darn good, man. Um,
which I love doing. I love making, because of that consistency, I can turn this into a full-time career, which I love doing. I love making YouTube videos, but I produce a lot of content. You know, I don't have the luxury of, let's say, a BDE where he can, you know, take a couple of days off, or even, you know, let's say 2 weeks, and come back, drop a video, and make 250,000 views on it. I don't have that luxury, at least not yet. I'm still kind of grinding to get to where I want to be. I want to be as consistent as I've always been. I've had a schedule of posting every day for like the last 13 years. And in my mind, I have to stay consistent, because I feel like the moment you lose that consistency, or you know, build a reputation of having a schedule with your audience and then you divert from that, people move on. People will move on to the next thing. I've seen it with so many channels that, you know, take a break. I could never take a break. That feels like career suicide to me. But I also don't mind it, because I don't think I've ever been tired of doing this one time. I've had writer's block. You know, I've had, you know,
yep.
you know, problems with creativity, but I've always wanted to do content. I love turning on the camera, and I love entertaining. I love making people laugh. But when it comes to YouTubers that were mentioned in the shout out portion of this video, the thing that makes them stand out to me is that they have the benefit of not being pressured to put a video out in a certain time frame. Like, let's say X3, for example. He has built his video catalog with exclusively creative videos because he only films and uploads when he gets inspired to do so. I don't have that luxury. You know what I mean? I have to put a video out every 2 days because I got bills to pay. This is my avenue to do that. Obviously, he's a very consistent streamer, you know what I mean? But let's even compare X's streams to my channel. You'll see a lot of output on both of those platforms, and sometimes on, you know, when you do it so often, sometimes it's gonna be more of a chill kickback video where you're just watching a 2K match or you're reacting to a video. That's just what happens when you do this so often for so long. Videos are gonna be like that. On a time basis, I don't have much of it. So I have this weird line to toe where it's important to me to make entertaining content and make videos that people wanna see, while also being like, well, I have to do something in this time frame, which creates kind of the reality where I'm not having some of the most thought-provoking videos, and I definitely understand the criticism when it comes to that. I'm just giving you my mentality behind it. What I don't like, however, is not being given also, at least a little,
which is understandable. Like I said, I get it's what works, and I get this is your career. You, BDE, everyone that I mentioned, or even people I didn't mention. I understand the concept of it's your career, which it's your career. You make a living off of this. You have to be consistent, and you know the content you do works for you because you're able to get it in consistently. Completely understandable. I'm not knocking that, dog. Like I just said in my video, all I want is just as a whole more creativity in these videos, like just in terms of original ideas. Now, granted, I understand. At the same time, it takes longer to go down that route and it's easier said than done when it's someone like me who I don't do this for a living. I don't rely on my YouTube program money to pay rent or do like I have a job, you know what I mean? And but like I said, it's literally both sides to it. Like there's that side which completely makes sense, and the other side where it's just like just my opinion. This is just how I wish it was. You know what I mean? Someone said, I think this is like a big misunderstanding for real. For real, I'm not. There's me. The title of the stream is reacting to his response. That's literally what this is. It's not me hating on it. It's not me hating on him or nothing. I don't have beef with the guy. This all could be avoided literally, but we're here. I guess. I mean, you don't have to be here. I don't know. There's niches in the wrestling YouTube, bro. I think he's just not taking the criticism the best, which is a shame. Quality over quantity is what they say. Yeah, I think that's also like how I feel about content, me personally. And that's just because that's just me personally. Like, that's what I like or what I prefer. You know what I mean? And that's not, once again, not me saying his people's videos aren't quality or whatnot, but I would prefer, from my perspective as a viewer, a video that would take longer because it's a more ambitious idea or whatnot, rather than a quicker type of video. That's, you know what I mean. Yeah, that's just me. I don't know. Do you watch JD from New York? No, I've seen a couple clips on Twitter of that guy being like a dork. I'm okay. I'm okay. Hi PG, keep being awesome. Stunners and stoners. Shouts out stunners and stoners in the chat. That's a clothing brand. I'm actually rocking their shirt. Shouts out stunners and stoners in the chat. Hi PG, keep being awesome. Thank you. You keep being awesome, stunners and stoners. I rock with your Survivor headband. I'll rock with your comment, dog. Thank you. Almost 100 people, bro. PG going to stream you. Okay.
Little bit behind it. What I don't like, however, is not being given at least a little bit of credit. Because I think it's really easy to find, 2 out of the 200 videos I make a year that follow the I played every 2K format. But why not bring up a creative video that I've done? Now listen, this is where I can concede the argument that every video I do is not revolutionary. I absolutely understand that. Reddit is an easy video to make. Same thing with any reaction video I do on this channel. But to be honest, I enjoy making those videos just the same as any other actual creative video that I've done. I'm aware of the simplicity with some of the content that I make for sure, but I'm proud of the isolated content itself. My Reddit videos aren't just, haha, funny Reddit meme, let's move on, haha, funny Reddit meme. I've turned it into a conversation about my thoughts about the week of wrestling, or my thoughts about wrestling as a whole right now, or certain aspects of it. It's definitely a comic video and we react to memes and stuff, but it's more of a conversational piece nowadays. And I'm proud of that. I get to bring on other YouTubers from around the entire space. I like having Reddit as a platform to highlight some people that you wouldn't normally see on this channel, like a C-Jax. Who would have thought that collab would have ever happened? I'm doing things with Wheezy, Minnie. I really like Reddit as an avenue to do that because everybody can easily get on here and just shoot the shit with me and make a video like that. I make jokes on the Reddit. I push the line a lot. It's a very fun thing for me to do. It's honestly a video that I'm looking forward to recording the most throughout the week. But my output is so much that it does bother me when my other original ideas get ignored. I feel like for every Reddit video that you'll see, there's also a promo contest, which is something that I plan on doing every single year, by the way. I really like interacting with the people that help me get to this position, you know what I mean? For every TikTok reaction you'll see once a month, which I don't know how many actual wrestling creators are doing that, but it's still not a super creative idea. You can also find the video of us ranking every WWE Championship belt that we have here, and which is a video that I thought was something that not too many people get the privilege to do because they don't have all these belts, but it's also super fun to film. I had a lot of fun getting on here filming the detective video of who threw the pie at Kevin Owens. We sat here literally playing detective, going over, footage frame by frame to try to put those pieces together. This series you're watching right now, the Yap Sesh, which evolved into a weekly review series eventually, but I would come on here once or twice a month and talk about my feelings, do unscripted video essays about certain things in wrestling, certain things I take issue with in wrestling. I've done stuff before like staying up all night to make trivia questions for the Vibe guys to answer on my channel. I love challenging myself. That's why I do so many trivia videos on my own, because I like testing my knowledge, especially publicly, to show maybe I do know some stuff that you didn't expect me to know, or maybe I don't. It's fun. It's a fun challenge to see. I love doing content like that. The toy vlogs are some of my favorite videos that I've done on this channel, especially the second one that we did with a 2000s Panasonic VHS camera. If it sounds like I'm talking too much about my videos here, it's because there's a lot of them. And that's my point. By the way, the song videos that I do make no money, all right? I do them for the love of the game. Every time I post one, Jim Johnston grabs me by the throat, calls me a bad boy, and takes all the money out of my pockets. It bothers me, but I do it because I love it, and those videos are fun to do. I have a passion for making content, and telling me that I don't pisses me off. I'm proud of my channel. All I think about is this channel. All I think about is doing content. My life is soaked up with this because it's my life.
I said in the video, and I'll say it again. I'm sure the creators I talked about are passionate. Y'all have to be to make content to the point where it's a living for you. Never say y'all aren't passionate about it. When I said I wish there was more passion in the game, I meant I wish there was more passion in the sense of more uniqueness and creativity. That was it. I didn't mean, oh, you don't care. I'm saying you like you're. I don't know. Smallafro'S watching just in general, but like, uh, I didn't mean when I said I wish there's more passion. I didn't mean it of like, oh, you're just making content to get paid and you don't care for it. You have no passion for it. That's not what I said at all. That's not what I meant. If that's how it's taken, I wish there was more passion in the sense of just not doing the same type of ideas is the main thing. And just more risk and more whatnot. Um, and yeah, that was it. Let me look at the. There's 100 people in this shit. That is nuts. Oh my god. Okay, I gotta catch up on the chat. Do you still play WWE games? Yeah, I do actually, and I'm recently trying to play 2K14 came online again. I saw, so I've been doing that, which is pretty cool. Yeah, but yeah, I'm big into wrestling games. I just don't talk about it on my channel or anything, but yeah, I am. Y'all remember Willpower? Shouts out Willpower, another guy I talked about. He's definitely taking the criticism very roughly, not gonna lie. Later in the video, it becomes kind of a tough watch as he starts centering himself and nitpicking certain examples I used. Not gonna lie, Queen of the Ring, aka Alex, mentioned you in her live this afternoon in a supportive way. Oh, I had no idea actually about that. Can you send that so I could see that if possible? I don't know if you could send lives. Is it on Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram? But I mean, shouts out her. That's another creator that I am well aware of. And I'm glad I'm glad creators were able to watch this video and be able to separate the line of criticism and hate or whatever. You know what I mean? Because yeah, uh, I'm sure Smart was watching this. I can't hate in the aspect of he's just trying to pay his bills. I never shit on anybody for doing that once they get to that point on this website. This is just so extra to me though. Yeah, I can't hate on someone for paying. Like, you do what you gotta do. And like I said, I'm not critiquing in that sense of what I just said before, but the way I watch him, I don't think it's that deep. I'm not him, so I might speak on his effort. No, I mean everything he's saying, he's valid to feel if this is how he feels based off what I said. He's completely valid to feel how he's. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion. We're humans. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. The same way I made my video, I'm entitled to my opinion. He's entitled to his own opinion. He's allowed to feel however he does. I just can't really take so personally when someone speaks from a fan perspective. Yeah, I mean that's fair. So I know he's been busy these days, but BD's content has become so stale, just constant Reddit videos. I mean, Alex Webb was good. Goat, hey brother, left a more in-depth comment on Smallafro'S video, but just looking at the space, I definitely agree that the content is very oversaturated. Yeah, now you're trying to sound Hollywood. I had no clue what to do was before the PG video, so this is my first impression of him. For me, it's a pretty shitty first impression. Uh, he's better than he's letting off. Yeah, for sure. Question: when you eat a hot dog, what's your main toppings? Ketchup and onions, I think. Just ketchup, really. I don't like mustard, to be honest. I like honey mustard a lot. Honey mustard's awesome. Not on hot dog, just in general. But yeah, just ketchup. Do you watch C-Jax? I do not watch C-Jax. I know who he is, I believe. That's the guy that like hates on WWE, I'm pretty sure. Do I watch him? Not at all, no. Um it was on her IG. She was agreeing with you on the state of wrestling content. Oh, that's awesome. I had no idea. That's awesome. At the end of the day, it's just how he takes it, and you can't really be upset that he has the right to defend himself when he feels criticized, and nothing he is saying is false. Yeah, I mean, he's able to feel how he feels completely. I just brought my mic closer because I saw the levels were kind of low. Do I sound crispier now? I feel like your video wasn't even a personal attack at any point to anyone, and you even acknowledged that. LMAO. Plus, I felt like it was you reminiscing about old dirty YouTube, which is how it changed. Yeah, that was also really it. It was also a video of me kind of just reminiscing on wrestling YouTube and how it's changed and how it is now. But yeah, not a personal attack on anyone. I don't care to have beef or anything. Yeah, here was that low key. Damn, y'all are commenting a lot. I am grateful for it. But I'm yeah, here was like a low key understand, but he did it specifically target only him. He talked about the trend of wrestling YouTube, which he spoke about. Yeah, I also only mentioned him for his thumbnails, and I guess yeah, he does fall into the other categories I talked about. But yeah, I just kind of like I just brought him up for the thumbnail thing. That was really it. Just kept it pushing. Um, I don't like his vids because they're long as shit. Brandon TNA doesn't have time though. Shouts out. Unfortunately, I gotta go now. But I'll come back if you're still streaming. By adios, Josh Power. Dos onions, bro. Onions be fire. Y'all wildin'. Not mustard, but onions not PG. You might have to fight, dude. Onions on the glick is crazy. All right, maybe onions wasn't the right thing. I don't know what the fuck it's called. There's something that has onions. I'm not tweaking. There's something that has onions. I'm a barbecue sauce, not gonna lie, or chili, mustard and onions. Chili on the hot dog. I don't see. You kind of lost me there. A lot of people put onions on hot dogs. See, I'm not bugging. I'm not bugging. People put onions on hot dogs. Uh, I'm shocked onions on hot dog is an uncommon take. That's what I'm saying. I'm not tweaking for that. That's a thing over here. I feel like he's most defend the side of YouTube you criticize as a whole, and rightfully so. He uses himself as the example, but most of them probably have a similar mindset to him. I'm sure. Yeah. Wrestling has been flooded by dorks, bro, and that's why it's kind of embarrassing to be a wrestling fan. I put relish on mine, but onions, relish. All right, I'm going back to the video. Y'all talking about hot dogs. Wait, let me send out a text to something real quick. I don't think the All right, let me hit play again. Okay. Are you saying caramelized is raw? Alright, bro. Y'all just having a whole chat about freaking onions on hot dogs now. Cool to hear that Queen the Ring shouted you out. That's really cool. I didn't know she even shouted me out or saw the video. That's really cool. I'm glad. I wish I could see that. I had no idea that happened. That's awesome. The fact that he named that specifically is. Wait, I lost the comment. The fact that he named that specifically is why I say it struck a nerve with him. What, the thumbnail thing you're saying? APG, you still owe us the twerk celebration for 5K. Be a man of your word. I do not remember saying I will twerk when I hit 5K. I have no memory of saying that, dog. You started it with onions, dog. The reason the Goon thumbnails are probably frustrating is because in times he's been passing with another creator. I want to. Afro's a good creator though, but he just falls into the category due to stuff, which is the only reason you mentioned him. Yeah. I mean, yeah. All right, I'm going back to the video now. All right.
Doing content. My life is soaked up with this because it's my livelihood and it's a passion and a hobby that I've had for 13 years. So for somebody that doesn't know me at all to turn their camera on and say, well, I don't think, these guys have passion for their craft. I can't accept that. And again, I'm taking this on a personal level. This could not even be aimed towards me, but how am I supposed to say, well, let me differentiate myself from this when you don't do that? You know what I mean? My name was mentioned in a group. So I have to only bring myself up because you're saying this technically about me. I have to respond to it. Unfortunately, the amount of times you tell me that you don't have a problem with me is not enough to make me not feel disrespected. You don't have to like my content. That's okay. This video is not a plea to, oh, but no, I'm one of the good ones. I promise you that's not what it is. All I'm asking for is just a little more credit than I've been given. My content's not for everybody. I think that's been very heavily documented. It's vulgar, offensive, probably cancelable. But what I'm proud of on this channel is that I'm 100% authentic in every video you've seen from me. You can ask anybody that I know, you know what I mean? I don't come on here putting on a show or an act or pretending to be somebody that I'm not. And that's another thing. I get grouped in with the dick riders because of the kind of content that I make. If you think that I am in 2K's, good graces and I say nothing but positive things about them because I want to be invited to a 2K event so bad, you don't watch this channel. If you think that I'm a WWE dick rider because all I make is WWE videos.
Wait, is that responding to my 2K day joke? That was a joke. I don't care if you defend WWE. That's not. It was a joke about just the top creators being invited to 2K day. That is it. It has nothing to do with I say you defend WWE or anything. It was literally a joke. Just because 2K invites the top creators out. Nothing because y'all only talk good about them, but literally because they invite y'all out for 2K day and stuff. That was just it. I don't think you defend WWE to the core, I imagine. WWE has a lot of flaws and shit. I would imagine you don't defend them to the core. Yeah, it was that's what the joke was, but okay.
You don't watch this channel. I'm convinced you've never seen one video from this channel. But of course, that's a narrative thrown around about me from people that don't know who I am. But since day one, this channel has been filmed with videos that I've wanted to make, videos I've had fun filming, and not just so simply a money grab, which I feel like is the narrative at play here. Everything that I do, 13 years of doing this, just was thrown away, and this guy doesn't have passion for his craft, and you know, he's soulless personality. I take offense to that. It's also hard opening the comments and seeing my peers, other people in this community, and people who I'd like to consider my friends, being in the comments going, yeah, dude, I've been feeling this way for a long time. Like, you're hitting it right on the nose. You're so right. And I'm sitting there like, well, damn, I had some of y'all on my channel very recently.
Okay. The people, I'm not going to speak on behalf of other creators that have commented or spoke on the topic or anything, but the reason a lot of creators were able to understand it and be able to say, yeah, like, you know, I'm able to hear you out to me, isn't them picking a side or anything like that. Only because they're your friend, they're allowed to have their own opinion on the state of content or anything, right? Even if one of my friends in this YouTube thing is a person that did this type of content or like someone I talked about, whatever, I would include them in them. I would include them in it. It's not like, it's not personal. What I'm them, it's not personal. And also, like, they're allowed to have their own opinion also, because a lot of these creators have been in this space longer than me. So I can only imagine they've also, you know, are able to see from a non-biased perspective. Yeah, a lot of the content is copy and paste in the sense of ideas and in the sense of the state of things, you know what I mean? But only because they're your homies or my homies or whoever, they're allowed to also have their own opinion and not like pick a side or whatever. Like, they're allowed to have their own opinion. And I also don't think them commenting is saying, oh, he's right, your content's bad. It's just them literally talking about how, hey, I believe I agree with the statement of what I said in my video. Because like I said, the video is just criticism on the state of content as a whole. Yeah, I see someone named Diddy is commenting. I don't even want to know what's going on in the chat. I miss OG Willpower's 2K15. Yeah, shouts out Willpower. Uh, does he not? He called out a lot of people. He's also probably saying this because a lot of people think this about any popular creator, not specifically you, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't think he's like directing everything to me. I think it was just him talking for himself on everything. Like, you know what I mean? That's perfectly okay. That's perfectly valid. Jaren hates on 2K almost as much as MMG hates on EA, by the way. I don't know who MMG is. But yeah, no, I'm sure Small Afro Jaren, like, I'm sure he's a real guy with like his own opinions and feelings on things. And I'm sure he expresses it. That's, I never said he doesn't. Bro, this video wasn't about you specifically. What are you saying, LMAO? Me? Blah, 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 blah. Why is bro taking videos so personally? Yeah, I think you misread my comment saying that Jaren's making so think that PG has a problem when he doesn't. Yeah, I mean, I don't have a problem with him still. Like, I don't have a problem or whatever. This video wasn't even personally targeted towards him. It wasn't, but I think he's valid to feel how he feels because it's in his scene for sure. Like, I think he's valid to feel that way. I don't think I'm not gonna act here and be like, oh, he's bugging for feeling this way because I only briefly mentioned him. His content, I wasn't thinking of it when I was talking about in the grand scheme of things. I was only thinking about it for the thumbnail sake. But no, I mean, I get why he feels this way because it's still his scene too, which is completely understandable. That's fine. Why do you think the video is all about him? I don't think he thinks the video is all about him. I don't think. Yeah, this chat is going nuts. Shout out the we got Diddy impersonators. Yeah, that's something.
I didn't realize you didn't respect the format that I'm having you on my channel for. Why even say yes to doing a video with me like that if that's how you felt? That I'm on my channel very recently. And I'm sitting there like, well, damn, I had some of y'all on my channel very recently. I didn't realize you didn't respect the format that I'm having you on my channel for. Why even say yes to doing a video with me like that if that's how you felt? It leaves kind of an inauthentic taste in my mouth, to be completely honest with you. And again, you can say, well, it's not about you, Jaren. I was kind of referring to this. I don't know that. Because not only are, is Prograps kind of generalizing everybody into one group, but when you comment something like, I'm feeling the same way, I have to take that personally because he's talking about me. You know what I mean? How am I not supposed to take that personally, whether or not it's aimed directly at me? Something I also was taken aback by was Brandon's tweet. To this video. It's actually something that I'm adding to this script, the night that I was writing it, because I didn't realize how many people had in this community actually seen this video, but I think as time has gone on, a lot of people have.
Yeah, the video, by the way, for those that don't know, if you don't follow me on Twitter, which I'm gonna start using way more now, cause shouts out the shit that it had. Yeah, the video popped off from Twitter. I think it's at like 200K views on Twitter, I think, which is nuts. And yeah, BDE reposted it, saying if you're creative in the YouTube space, in the wrestling YouTube space, you should give this video a chance to hear, which meant the world to someone like me, not in the sense of, oh my god, BDE tweeted about my video, thank god, but more in the sense of this guy, BDE, is the center of my thumbnail, right? BDE is like the cover star for the first half of the video, right? And the fact that BDE is able to watch my video, listen to it, think, form his own opinion, and be able to handle, not saying he's handling criticism for me, but able to hear me out and be able to separate me hating or shitting on him or whatever, to being able to separate that to being like, yeah, he has a point. I completely told off what I was saying there. Yeah, the fact he's able to take criticism and be able to separate criticism from hate and just an idea, what I'm talking about, is, I mean, it's humane, that's humans, and he thinks for himself. And yeah, I think that's perfect. I think that was cool. I think that's very cool for Brandon. To me, I honestly, making the video, I didn't think any of the bigger creators would see it. I'm happy they did, and it started some type of discussion. And yeah, but like I said, I don't think it's him taking it like personal in terms of BDE and stuff. Like, it wasn't a personal thing or anything. It's literally a dialogue on the state of the content overall, and the fact that a lot of other creators and viewers also were able to hear me out and be able to separate me hating and me just giving criticism is awesome to see. I think as a community that we all like wrestling YouTube, I think that's awesome to see. Yeah, but I don't agree with like, oh, someone has to take my side just because they're my friend, and even if I feel indifferent, I'm not gonna hear the other person out. Like, I don't know, that's not how I feel like you should be able to hear anyone out. I usually feel like, I don't know.
Script, the night that I was writing it, because I didn't realize how many people had in this community actually seen this video, but I think as time has gone on, a lot of people have. And Brandon, I was very shocked with his response to it. He tweeted, and kid, please put this on screen, every wrestling YouTuber needs to watch this video. And I'm not gonna lie, when I first saw that, it did bother me for a second, because I had to sit back and go, well, Brandon, you taught me how to do this. You know what I mean? Like, you are kind of the reason why I make the content that I make. It's the reason Brett makes the kind of content he makes. So I was kind of confused on what the motivation was behind that, because I thought, well, this is kind of, we all did this. I learned this from you. But I do have to understand that it isn't all about me. It's just hard to not take that a certain way when it is about me. But because it's also about Brandon, I can put that to the side a little bit. If you think that this is any type of shit talk, hey, you want to You want to come here real quick? I'm being completely honest. You know, I'm glad Brandon accepts the criticism as well. You know what I mean? I learned, you know, we talked about how I've learned how to do this from him, like spacing and thumbnails, having series that you can dip back into to, you know, keep your schedule consistent and keep, you know, viewers interested in, you know, stuff that you've been doing. And yeah, while he does very publicly say that this community can use more creativity, I was just taken aback by that tweet, just to be completely honest with you. Now, we did a lot of defending just now. I do want to talk about the actual thumbnail issue that was discussed here, because the Mr. Beastification of YouTube thumbnails is very real. And I'm 100% guilty with that, from a creativity level and an originality level, which could go hand in hand, but I could definitely be better with that. I will be 100% honest with you. I think it's very valid criticism.
I do have a point.
Yes, go ahead.
I do have a point. I'm also guilty of the Mr. Beastification of like thumbnails and titles and stuff like that. Granted, I was also kind of taught by the person who helped Mr. Beast, so I think that definitely plays a role. However, what I will say is that even though Mr. Beastification is not the most popular, especially for me, like when I watch YouTube, I do kind of steer myself away from those kind of
This is crazy to see.
But you can't
like,
argue at the same time, if I were to make a thumbnail, I don't know on what video, but if I were to make a thumbnail and it's more of a style that I would click on, it's not going to get as many views as a Mr. Beastification kind of thumbnail. It sucks, unfortunately, but we do this as a job, and
of course,
bills gotta be paid. So
that's very understandable.
It more so shows what people and viewers are clicking on versus what we're making our titles and thumbnails about. Does that make sense?
No, absolutely, I agree with you.
I accept the criticism, and I definitely am guilty of Mr. Beastification, but that's what's working, unfortunately. That's all I really have to say.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean,
get
to
that
his
works.
point, I'd be lying if I said that I wasn't following the trends of what's popular on YouTube when it comes to making a thumbnail.
I'm also like, I don't want to knock me talking about the Mr. Beastification, which is awesome that that's a term now, swag. But I also don't want me making this video to come off like every single person that I mentioned, or maybe that I didn't mention, I'm knocking them for doing this or whatever. Like I said in the video multiple times, I get it. It works. That's understandable. And I'm not going to hate on these people for continuing to do it because it works. I completely understand that, especially when it's coming from the perspective of, hey, I do this for a living. You do what you got to do. I completely understand it. For me, it is easier for me to look back and be like, hey, I think you guys should have more creative thumbnails or make cooler art or whatnot, just for the sake of it and making yourselves look different and, you know, setting that uniqueness back in wrestling YouTube or YouTube as a whole. But because like, yeah, I get it. It's easier for me to say that because I don't do this for a living and I have the space to experiment more and maybe test out thumbnails more because I'm not relying on this for a job or living. That's completely understandable. Half of my argument is coming from a creator standpoint, but also just a viewer standpoint, in the sense of this is what I would like. I would like more uniqueness and more creativity, and I'm not expecting wrestling YouTubers to be the change or expecting people to change. I'm not expecting any change from my video, by the way. It's also me just airing out my grievances and just starting a conversation. But it's literally just me saying, hey, for the thumbnail part, I wish there was more uniqueness in thumbnails. I wish there was more creativeness in thumbnails. Yeah, that's it. Like I said in the video, I get it, it works, and that whole conversation. Yeah, there's cops in New York City residential neighborhoods passing by if y'all hear it. I'm not gonna read the whole thing that I missed in chat because I want to just keep the video going. Blah, 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 blah. You guys are arguing? Yeah, but there's a Diddy impersonator account. I feel like mostly people shit on him a lot and that people just make a subject of his content without even watching him. That's completely fair, yeah. How am I not supposed to take this personal? I mean, if he just took the video at face value and didn't assume that it was done out of malice. I mean, like I said, he's valid to feel how he feels because his name was brought up in the sense of it. Like, he's completely valid to feel how he feels, I think. Wait, what the fuck? I thought bro was a stick figure. I'm the complete opposite, dog. I thought your video was pretty valid, not gonna lie. You didn't tag specific creators that made pretty good points. Thank you. I appreciate that. And people think telling a grown man to oil up is funny. Oh, that's the Santi thing. Yeah, I've seen that before. Yeah, I've seen that before. Hot dog talk, yada yada yada. Is there anyone that should be offended by this video? It should have been Maven. I did see Maven had a little response to it in like a live stream thing, but it's like I don't think Maven took it serious. It's just dialogue at the end of the day, just conversation. Um, blah 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 blah. The whole video is confusing to me because he multiple times agrees with your criticism and agrees he contributes to the trend, but then also feels disrespected by being mentioned. I think it's more just he feels disrespected or feels, personally about it. But he's able to also sit back and view it from a viewer standpoint and view it from a critic standpoint in the sense of, yeah, like maybe what I'm saying does have some value, but this is why I do X, Y, and Z and yada yada yada, which is completely fair. Um Bro drag BD into the response vid. To be fair, every fan base has weirdos. Is Randy Orton in the chat? Okay. At the same time, I blame the creators for adapting that, and it's become more common to the point of views will only see that style of thumbnails. Yeah, okay, so that's another thing, right? Uh yeah, I think I might have touched up on that in the video. I don't know if I did, but yeah, it's also like um only because it's what works and whatnot, and because the top of the top is doing it. I think what's the right word for this? Like because it's the top of the top in this. I'm going to talk about the wrestling YouTube space, not like all of YouTube, because all of YouTube I can't talk about that. That's Mr. Beast rules all. But in terms of the wrestling YouTube space, yeah, I think that was another thing too. I don't know if I talked about it in the video, but because the top of the top does it, it only creates this ecosystem. I feel like where other smaller creators that may want to start coming up, or even people that want to create content or want to enter the space, they think, oh, okay, I have to do this because this is what works. Now, granted, this is what works for them, yes, but I don't like that because only the top of the top does it. The smaller creators are gonna think, okay, I have to do this in order to get to this level. When the whole time that mindset doesn't create the space then for the smaller creator to experiment more, to take more risks, to try and do something that's more unique or try to do something that's makes them different. You know what I mean? And granted, that's not the bigger creator's fault, right? That's, but it's regardless, if you're on the top of the food chain in something, you're going to have influence on people below you, right? Because everyone's trying to get to the top level, right? But because everyone at the top has that influence, people at the bottom, it's harder for people at the bottom to try and make their way up when everyone is trying to match what the top is doing. And it's just creating this large ecosystem of a lot of the same stuff. Yeah, that's like the main dialogue also with the thumbnail topic. But I think he feels because he was mentioned with the more negative part of the video, people might think he's an unoriginal YouTuber. Randy Orton and P. Diddy bonding in chat. Talking as someone who does it for a living, taking creative risk can be super beneficial. That's another thing too. Yeah, you never know what pops off and what doesn't. It's literally a risk. Yeah. They could still do thumbnail templates, but change it a bit more. Yeah, I agree. I like the stream. Thank you, Apollo. I like your comment. All of YouTube's starting to look the same, and I hate it. Yeah, that's also really bad. Just YouTube as a whole sucks in the sense of like everyone's trying to do the Mr. Beast stuff. Everyone's trying to do what the top of the top is doing, and in general for YouTube, and it sucks. You know what I mean? I wish, granted, with the way people, it's their living and whatnot nowadays, it's harder to do that. But I just, yeah, growing up from someone that grew up watching YouTube, and like I talked about in the video, I'm more on the side of try to focus on the creativity more than the actual logistics and analytics and uh money standpoint of it. Not saying they're doing it for money, but literally like survival. You know what I mean? This is my job type, which I get completely. I enjoy your video and I only do 2K videos. It helped me want to do better with my thumbnails for my Call Universe mode. So that's awesome. Thank you. I'm happy you were able to take inspiration from the video. That's really awesome. No, P Diddy is stupid, stupid, stupid. Okay. The oil up meme is funny though. Okay, you should never be offended by criticism, only disrespect. Yeah, I agree. I agree. I understand that, but really, isn't that DW viewership isn't going to decrease because of one YouTuber fan base having a freaky inside joke. Oh, y'all talking about the oil up thing. Uh, blah 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 blah. Okay, I'm about to get back to the video now. I'm just trying to catch up on everybody's comments. Uh, do you wrestling gifs? Is that do I know or do I like wrestling gifs? Uh, I'm gonna assume that's what you mean. Yeah, I know wrestling gifs. Pav. I like his content. Yeah, I do. I think honestly, when I was making my video, I didn't think of him at all because like I feel like he's also kind of in his own lane in the sense of just like he's doing his own thing. And granted, like his videos, like he has his own style, he has his own topics, his own thing. You know what I mean? And I think that's perfectly okay. But yeah, no, I fuck with wrestling just. He's cool. He's a cool guy. And yeah, and I was also watching him before I was doing like programs too. I was all these people I talked about, by the way, I have watched before I was even making videos too. Like that's also why I feel strongly because it's like I'm also talking it from just a viewer standpoint too. Uh, Basically they have to follow trends and eventually not saying everyone does, but eventually you get tired because you can't be different. Um, People thought wrestling was gay back then. Okay, I don't know. I don't know what the conversation is there. Because I see people abusing AI for the thumbnails. Yeah, that's another thing. Someone commented on my last video, the community YouTube whatever video. And it was another creator who I won't say who whatever, but they have a it's like a group channel of people that kind of gave me like a backhanded compliment, right? They're like, "Hey, we like your video, blah blah blah," but is what you feel about so and so for AI thumbnails or thumbnails that clearly you copy and are unoriginal, something like that. And I clicked on the channel and I'm like, damn, like this was backhanded as hell. And I clicked on it and it was creators that use blatant AI in their thumbnail and do the Mr. Beast face. I get it, the Mr. Beast face works, but these older folk, these grown men, they're using AI in the thumbnail. And like I said in reply to them, if you use AI in your thumbnail, me personally, I just think that shit is extremely lazy and extremely, to me, I'm not a fan of AI usage, me personally. I think if you want a thumbnail, go to a graphic designer, go to whatever. But using AI, I get it. People have different views on it. They think it's easy, whatever. It's quick, and I get that. At the same time, wasting water, and also AI sucks. Stop fucking using AI for art. That shit stinks, dog. Stop doing that. And the people that gave me the backhanded compliment made no sense because at least me, I'm making my thumbnails from scratch, dog. Your shit is AI generated and then Mr. Beast face. This is applying to this group of creators that commented on my channel, by the way. No one, I didn't even talk about them in the video, but this certain creator that commented. Another creator also tweeted I'm a bench player after making my video, which someone got in their feelings clearly. But that was a very ironic post. I'm a bench player coming from that person, but it is what it is. Personally, the Mr. Beast thumbnails make me not want to click on the video. It does the opposite to me. Me too, honestly. I don't like. I don't really click on videos like that if they do the Mr. Beast thumbnail because I automatically get turned off from that. Is that my boy PG? What's good, dog? The AI thumbnails are so sad, man. Especially when you have a guy like AJ Styles who could easily hire someone for thumbnails doing it. I didn't even know AJ Styles was doing AI thumbnails. He's doing AI thumbnails? This motherfucker's a millionaire. What the fuck? Okay. Yeah, that sucks. Not gonna lie. I went from Mr. Beast thumbnails to that one ChatGPT prompt looking thumbnail everyone uses. Yeah. I mean, you can't choose what people get offended by. I don't even know what happened, but I think someone's annoying. So Resident Evil sucks. Used to be cool. I'll slap. I mean, do you watch my bad? Lucha Underground used AI thumbnails and it was so dumb. They eventually got rid of them, but the first episode has another AI thumbnail. Yeah. Okay. I think I'm caught up on a majority of the shit. Okay. I grew up on wrestling with Grand Christian Miracle. Yo, the Christian Miracle guy. That's the everything wrong with so and so pay per view. They're doing like the tick tick. I grew up watching them too. Shout out to him. Oof, more lazy than using AI and stuff to make the video. Yeah, it's just lazy. I hate AI. I hate it. Photo piece free. Fuck AI. Using AI for thumbnails is so dumb. I agree. Fuck AI. I agree. Bro, I saw people using AI that have like $1,000 pay artists. Yeah, pay artists. If you are a rich person, if you are a millionaire, if you're AJ Styles, why are you? What the fuck? You could afford an artist, dog. Like, what the? You're wasting. You're killing people's jobs, their dreams. You're like, it's AI is so bad all around. It's so bad, dude. Uh, uh, as pro wrestlers, there are so many indie wrestlers that use AI for the merch, and that shit sucks. Reveal who tweeted that. Nah, I'd rather not give attention. Lucha Mania show. Lucha Mania in the building. It's the Patrick Cece thing I like to do, but not use AI to write his videos. I didn't even know Patrick Cece uses AI for his videos. He uses AI for his videos? That sucks. Even former WWE people use AI and it's so stupid. Yeah. The guy who called you bench player short corner because even I got more subs than him. I don't even do YouTube. Do things because they get handles are entitled to comment. I got no other comment on the situation. It is what it is. You also got AJ Styles reposting ad generated images of him and Cena. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm glad not the one that feels that way by AI. All right. I'm gonna continue the video now.
Thumbnail. If I said that I wasn't following the trends of what's popular on YouTube when it comes to making a thumbnail for my YouTube channel. You know what I mean? My goal here, like Brandon said, for somebody in the position of doing this as a job, my goal is to increase reach and viewership. And honestly, that's not something I'm going to apologize for because that's just what the game is, unfortunately. And I can't say anything more about that without lying to you about my perspective on it because unfortunately that's just what it is. But at the same time, it's valid criticism. You know what I mean? I take that on the chin because you're right. I just don't really have an argument for it. I don't have an excuse for it.
I think it's a fine line. I think Mr. Beastification can feel like people are saying clickbait.
Okay.
Because like back in the day, that's what it was. You know, 2016 YouTube was filled with clickbait. I think the thing with Mr. Beastification is that all the elements of a Mr. Beastification as thumbnail, those are the thumbnails that like there's a science behind making a thumbnail. It's like I won't bore you with the details, but like most thumbnails need to have 3 elements. You have more than 3 elements, you're kind of getting lost in the sauce. So it's like you have to follow that rule without being clickbait as well. Because that's one thing I hope I never do or hope people think I don't do, because like I feel like anything I put in my title and thumbnails is what actually happens in the video. So I hope that once you get past the title and thumbnail, you can see that the video and the creativity, even yours, is beyond that. That's it.
Yeah, and I do agree. I think we need to start talking about the actual substance of certain videos rather than, you know, just the, I don't even know what the word would be for. The marketing, just like the very basic beginner level of watching a YouTube video. I do understand though, and I need to, you know, address that. I understand how frustrating that can be for a smaller creator who wants to not have to follow that trend. I absolutely agree, and that's why I can't argue against that criticism, because I get it. I understand how frustrating that can be for a smaller channel. It's valid. It's valid criticism. I don't think it's just a wrestling YouTube problem, and I think that was addressed in this video. Yeah. I think it's an overall YouTube problem. How many, you know, videos do you see with thumbnails of a guy standing over here and there's a red arrow pointing to some text on a white background? We see that all the time. It's not just here. It's everywhere. On a personal level, you know what I mean? I only really learned how to make thumbnails within the last couple of years from my boy over here who, you know, like you heard from him, he literally learned how to make thumbnails from the guy that taught Mr. Beast how to do it. You know what I mean? So I feel like maybe unintentionally, it kind of just created a snowball effect of, well, now everybody's doing it. And obviously me and Brandon aren't just the trendsetters of that kind of thumbnail. Everybody's doing it, but you know, it's not a heinous thing. It's not, at least on our end, it's not like, for those kind of thumbnails, it's just us trying to make our living, to be completely honest with you. But again, I think it's valid criticism, and I'm not going to argue against the point that he was making against the unoriginality and lack of creativity in those thumbnails. Now, this is where I'm going to end this section of responding to the Programs video, but here's where I'm confused about the consistency of his points, right? He'll talk negatively about the style of thumbnail, you know, where it's a big face on the side, just like Mr. Beast. But when you get to the section where he shouts out other creators, he shows some of his favorite creators' thumbnails. Like, let's just use, for example, this one. It's X3's Exploring WWE DVD Menus thumbnail, which is like, I mean, if you look at it, it's the same thing. Like, the same thing. Again, I have so much respect for the creators that I'm talking about, but in regard to this video specifically, I feel like the criticisms are not consistent with what you are praising towards the end of this video. I think stuff like this contradicts a lot of his points, to be honest with you. My problem, again, is not the creators, but seeing this thumbnail as an example is just interesting to me. Obviously, you know, the menu thing, fun video idea.
In terms of the X3 thing, the thumbnail I didn't really like have specific thought of I'm gonna pick this one. I just chose that one. But yeah, I mean he does the face thing too with his thumbnails. Not like as egregiously, I think, but yeah, I mean he does it too. Like I said, I'm not faulting people for doing what works in thumbnail sense. And I also wasn't bringing up X3 of saying his thumbnails were phenomenal. The people who thumbnails I brought up that I think were phenomenal, like those are the type of thumbnails I aspire to have and hope to reach that level of being good thumbnails and whatnot. I brought up X3 specifically because I think his content is extremely different from a lot of other wrestling creators on the platform. Not because I think everything about him is different, but the content itself is literally different. Yeah, he does the thumbnail thing in the sense of the Mr. Beast thing because, you know, it's what works. I'm not gonna fault people for that. Phoenix Nitro is another one that I mentioned who I didn't even talk about his YouTube thing because the YouTube stuff is a lot of the stuff that I was talking bad about in the sense of the universe mode stuff, the thumbnail stuff. But I brought up Phoenix Nitro because of what he's doing still now with TBD wrestling. Yeah, I don't know. But no, I get the how me bringing up X3 could seem, I guess, like hypocritical in the thumbnail sense. I guess, yeah, no, sure. But he's also not doing as Mr. Beastie, to be honest. But granted, like I said, I only brought him up because of the literal content itself and video topics and whatnot, and videos themselves being extremely different from the rest of wrestling YouTube, which I stand on. It is. It's very different.
I've talked about X a lot so far in this video. I do want to move on to him because another YouTuber that's mentioned is Phoenix Nitro, Dalt. Again, somebody I've known very well over the years. A little bit of this video, and you're gonna have to forgive me because I wanna say this is the part where I'm gonna not apologize for reading off my script because I want to say exactly how I feel about this. A little bit of this video was talking about the 2K scene's repetition with ideas and thumbnails, right? Dalt has been working on TBD recently and hasn't uploaded too much on his own channel, but Dalt's still a very creative person. You know what I mean? Even
yeah.
ideas you'll see in the 2K scene still to this day was an idea that was originated by Phoenix Nitro, by Dalt. But despite what he's up to now and who he does content with now, he comes from this. You know what I mean? He comes from this side of YouTube where it is the exact same thumbnail style. It's the exact same type of 2K videos that are being made. I do want to give a shout out to his personal My Career series because I think long form highlight reel videos are no joke. And I think that does need to be praised a little bit. No, seriously. And the exact same content that's being criticized, the non-gaming content that's being criticized in this video can be applied to his channel as well, including the low effort reaction videos. Now, this is not a diss towards Dalt. You know, he's always made the content that he wants to make. And that's kind of the point that I'm trying to defend here. My argument just on this video specifically is, well, what's the difference? I had to sit back and go, well, no, if you think about it, all of the guys that are being shouted out at the end of this video are in pretty close proximity with each other friend-wise. It's kind of making me go, well, is this video just a platform for you to be like, hey, fuck these guys, right?
It's not at all what the video was for. That's not at all what the video was for or what that even part of the video was for. Like I said, I think okay. With Phoenix Nitro, I brought up Phoenix Nitro with what he's doing now and TBD wrestling. I did not bring up Phoenix Nitro in terms of the 2K gaming because Phoenix Nitro was literally, yeah, you're right. He came from that scene. That's why I did not talk about Phoenix Nitro in the sense of his YouTube stuff because his YouTube stuff, a lot like what has been the universe mode stuff, and the 2K stuff and the Mr. Beast thumbnails that I talked about because it works and he's trying to make a living. That's why I did not talk about his YouTube stuff. I talked about his TBD wrestling stuff because I think to go from being a creator and taking a risk taking a creative risk, which is what the whole concept of the video was. He took a creative risk in the sense of he doesn't really do YouTube no more like that, and he helped start a wrestling promotion, which is fucking awesome. Like from a fan standpoint, that's the dream, right? And he took the creative risk because I don't know what he does. I don't know how he makes his living or whatnot. But Phoenix Nitro is a legend in this game from his YouTube wrestling game stuff and just wrestling YouTube as a whole. He's a legend, right? But to go from that and leaving Vive, which is, the safe route and doing what he does, he took the risk because he wanted to evolve and move on to doing what he does now. Not only does he even have the wrestling promotion, but he also commentates for promotions, which is awesome. And these are all creative risks, not even just video wise, but creative risk as a creative in the wrestling YouTube. And the thing I applauded TBD Wrestling for was also the aesthetic of the promotion, the album themes being art for the shows, the albums being aesthetics for like show, like that's. I talked about Phoenix Nitro for TBD Wrestling, not the YouTube stuff. He's obviously a prime legend for the stuff that I was talking bad about. That's not what I was. That's why I didn't talk about his YouTube stuff. And I talked about the creative risk he took, as going to the promotion shit. The entire shit I just said. But yeah, no, I didn't. I don't even think Phoenix Nitro and like people like I talked about people like Tribe from Queens, Wake Up Noah, Tribe from Queens, me and Midcard. I'm friends with them. I don't know their friendships with each other. I'm friends with them, and I met them as a YouTuber. You know what I mean? And the reason I put a spotlight on people I know and kind of don't know. I don't know one. I don't know Deontay DDJ, by the way. Like I never met him, never talked to him. Like I don't know him. But everyone else that I talked about that I do know, I talked about them not because hey, I'm trying to say fuck these guys and let me put my friends on. No, I'm trying to highlight people that I know that deserve shine. That's literally the entire idea of it. There's a lot more wrestling creators that I do know that I didn't even talk about in this video. If that was the case, shit, I would have made that second half way longer. I would have said, shouts out this guy, shouts out this person, shouts out that person. I would have done a whole fucking list of shouts out, but I shouted out specific creators that I wanted to, that came to my mind, that deserve more shine in the scene, in my opinion. Granted, I'm extremely grateful this video was seen by the people they were seen by, because that means these creators that I feel like deserve a spotlight were able to get seen in that light. And I don't care who you are or whatever someone says, I'm not going to defend that. I'm not going to defend myself for trying to put people on that deserve spotlight and shine. These creators are people that put in time, put in effort. And I'm not saying other creators don't or whatnot, or you guys don't. I just think these people deserve the shine and deserve the spotlight that a lot of creators get, in my opinion. I think Aaron Kamash is a phenomenal wrestling fucking gaming YouTuber. But, in terms of the totem pole of the grand scheme of things, we're all on the bottom, right? Like, I don't know. And yeah, like, I'm not gonna stand for the this is are you just trying to say fuck these guys? No, I don't give a damn about like these, like I'm not trying to start a beef or try to put one group down to put this group up. It's me giving a criticism and me giving not a solution, but me giving a hey, I think these people are good also, because like I said in the video, wrestling YouTube is not all bad. Like I said in the video, there's a underground scene of smaller creators that are great. People like Midcard, Blackhawk, Don Lucha and Lucha Mania, who does a weekly trivia show. These are all great creators in my opinion because of their minds and because of just the work ethic they put into these videos. And it may not meet the numbers they wish for it to meet, or they may not meet the goals they wish to hit. All I'm doing as a creator is putting my viewers on to people that I think deserve it. And even if I wasn't getting watched by anybody, right, I'm still going to mention the people I talked about because these people deserve a spotlight and deserve a shine regardless. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't care if they're my friends or not my friends. They're still great creators regardless at the end of the day. But yeah, that being said, no, my point was not to say fuck these creators, being you guys or whatever, and try to big up one group. No, that's not what that was at all.
but making me go, well, are in pretty close proximity with each other friend-wise. It's kind of making me go, well, is this video just a platform for you to be like, hey, fuck these guys, right? But y'all are cool, y'all don't count. It's inconsistent to me. And I don't want to sit here and, you know, completely take blame away from myself and put it on other people and play the what about you game. But it just feels like double standards to me, where their creativity gets shined and highlighted when the lower effort videos don't get talked about at all. Those reaction videos I was just talking about, he was posting fairly recently every single day. But when it comes to me, it's just we're talking about the unoriginal videos, and the original ones are not spoken about whatsoever. It feels like double standards to me.
I also don't think I don't even think I brought up reaction content in my video, to be honest with you. Someone could tell me if I'm wrong, but I didn't bring up reaction content at all either. I'll be real with you. I forgot that was a thing. I didn't even think about that when I was making the video. I didn't bring up reaction content at all. I forgot that was a thing, to be honest with you. Yeah, I mean, a lot of big creators do that too, but I mean, I don't know. I didn't even think about it, to be honest. That's why I didn't bring it up in the video. I don't know. But okay.
Because and the original ones are not spoken about whatsoever. It feels like double standards to me, because you could say the same thing about kind of everybody you mention. Even in the section where Prograps mentions channels he loves watching, he shows videos examples with thumbnails, not even just the X one, but he shows, I mean, kid, throw up some of the thumbnails he shows. They're not the most mesmerizing thumbnails I've ever seen in my life. And that's not saying not all of them are good. There are definitely some that he highlighted that are very creative, but if you're gonna have that as a point and then throw up, well, this is a video you should be watching, and it's a thumbnail that's like the same thing as a thumbnail for this video, what's the difference? Making that a whole point and then proceeding to highlight just as uncreative thumbnails,
when I brought up the people that I brought up in my video, I was showing thumbnails because those are videos. I wasn't showcasing those highlights. I wasn't showcasing those thumbnails as like, these are cool artistic thumbnails. I just picked thumbnails of videos to highlight the people's content. And yeah, I don't think people's thumbnails have to be 10 out of 10 art pieces or whatever, but I think still, like I said, my friends or like the creators that I mentioned, my friends, everyone's trying to get to the top. So some of them are gonna do what works, I imagine. But there's also a reason why I didn't bring up their thumbnails when I'm talking about the thumbnails I would want to see, right? I literally brought up just those thumbnails because of the content itself for that part of the video. That's why I brought up those thumbnails, because they're just videos that, like, of those creators that I was highlighting. Yeah, I think some of those creators that I brought up do the stuff that I criticize, in the sense of the Mr. Beast face, like the thumbnail he brought up of the trivia one where it's the Mr. Beast one. I completely agree. I think, yeah, I'm not a fan of the Mr. Beast type of thumbnail, but either way, I still think those thumbnails are more interesting than the average and like a picture. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I was gonna say something else, I think, but I think I forgot, to be honest.
difference. Making that a whole point and then proceeding to highlight just as uncreative thumbnails, it feels inconsistent to me. Now, the last creator I want to talk
Also, damn, bro, he called y'all thumbnails uncreative. That, by the no.
talk about that thumbnails, it feels inconsistent to me. Now, the last creator I want to talk about that he shouted out is my boy Deontay, who I really hope does not hate me after the next 2 minutes. But actually, no, what I want to say here is, before we get into anything, Deontay is fantastic. He is an unbelievable creator, and he has earned every subscriber he's gotten on his channel. I've seen him from when he had less subs than I do. Now he's got double mine almost. And he deserves it. You know what I mean? He works hard. He's consistent as hell. His thumbnail game is on point. And he's one of my favorite YouTubers to collab with outside of my circle of friends here, because you feel his authenticity through the screen. He's not gonna bullshit you with an opinion, and I love having people like that on this channel. But again, just in this video specifically, having him in the shout out portion was interesting to me. Deontay absolutely deserves to be in a shout out portion of any wrestling YouTuber video. But when it comes down to the points that you were criticizing, it kind of applies to him as well. And I had to message him to let him know I was going to be talking about him because I don't want him to be thrown off guard about what I'm about to say. But as respectfully as I can say, reviewing weekly wrestling shows is not original content. Like, not even close. It's kind of the same thing that we all do. You know what I mean? He has a great way of doing it. And I mean, that's something that Prographs mentioned. His aesthetic is great and his editing is on point and his personality is what makes the video what it is. And I feel like that can apply to some other people as well. I'm not going to sit here and say that my unoriginal concepts for videos, you can't click on that and have a good time and my subject matter and substance in the video is just like slop. I think I make good content. I'm going to say the same thing about Brandon. He is the top guy for a reason. And while his videos, you know, can follow that formulaic rhythm as well, you click on it, he has his own flavor to it. Everybody's got their own flavor to it. But there are soulless creators out there, and I will acknowledge that later on, but just on a personal level, I do personally take offense to it, and I feel like there's a lot of hypocrisy and inconsistency with a point like that when you bring up Deontay as one of the ones that don't do that. No, he does. I mean, you look at his most recent video, I opened a $1,000 WWE mystery box. It's the same thing. So my point is, when is it okay and when is it not okay? Maybe my aesthetic isn't cool enough. That's another thing. Sorry if my aesthetic isn't cool. He mentioned in the video, well, you know, you have to stand out. You have to be unique as a creator. Like, these guys use green screens. And that was it. And I'm like, well, okay. I mean, sure. Maybe, you know, the shelf isn't good enough for you. I don't know. If you're watching this channel and one of your things that takes away from your enjoyment is me sitting at a setup like everybody else, then we could just cut the conversation off right here. What's funny is I did green screen for a while and my audience hated it. You can go back from 2K20, I did those videos, and that's why I switched back. The one that got to me though was when he talked about himself when in terms of standing out. He goes, oh, and you know, X he has a new thing as a microphone in every video. Okay, these guys use green screens. Okay, and then me, you know, I have a stick doodle as my thing. Okay, we're talking about uniqueness and we're talking about a commentary channel over a picture of a doodle or just, you know, different drawings of a doodle. I give that level of irony a grade A. You know what I mean? that popped the beat.
Like, I actually do like his style with the stick figure, but I was thinking grade A under him as well. But I do really like his style. Prographs keep it.
No, and I agree with you. I'm not saying like your content should be viewed negatively because of that, but that's kind of the argument you're using towards my content. It's been done before. I could say the same thing, you know? But, you know, I don't have an issue with him, so it's all good. You see how that comes off, right? After everything. Saying that, I feel like, doesn't take away any of the discomfort, you know? It doesn't make me feel any better. I also don't want to discredit the other creators that he mentioned in the video. I did bring up 3 specific ones, but he did highlight a lot of creative guys in the scene, and it's really cool to see. It's cool to see, especially on the 2K side of it, where people can be creative with it. I'm sure like mods and stuff help, but, you know, being able to do anything new.
I don't know. I think it's just all perspective at the end of the day. I don't know. I think it's just all perspective. I didn't start doing the stick figure thing to try and stand out or whatever. I was gonna do desktop or green screen content originally, but the reason I did a stick figure and went with it was because I am broke and couldn't afford a camera to record, honestly, and I didn't want to use my phone, so I just drew the stick figure to have that be the narrator for my videos. And thank you, BD. I appreciate that. That honestly means a lot. I appreciate that. And yeah, I think I don't know. I think there is a lot of irony in this. Not towards me though. I think let me go back a bit because he said
with it, I'm cool to see in the video. I did bring up 3 specific, you know, everything, saying that with him, so it's all good. I could say the same thing, you know, but you know, I don't have an issue. It's been because of that.
But I was thinking,
irony, a grade A of a doodle, or we're talking about uniqueness and we're talking about a commentary channel over a picture of a doodle or just, you know, different drawings of a doodle. I give that level of irony a grade A. You know,
The reason I think I don't even know like how to word it. Um the I'm trying to think how to word it properly. I am not the first ever person to use a stick figure to narrate a video, and I will never be claiming to be the first. I'm not the first even in wrestling YouTube to do that. Someone before my videos have commented about a guy named Corporate Chan that has done the stick figure thing too, which I didn't know about before you guys put me onto him. And yeah, he was doing the stick figure thing before me, and I didn't even know about it. But the reason I brought up the stick figure, because it's my, I'm just talking about me, which was also like a joke, but whatever. But the reason I brought up my stick figure is because regardless, that style is still able to be separated in the grand scheme of things, is my point. It's something that is unique in the sense of not a lot of people are doing that. In wrestling content, a lot of people are using their face, right? Which blends in the world of wrestling YouTube more. I do the stick figure thing, like I said, because I was broke and I'm still broke, but I couldn't afford a camera or webcam, whatever. So I went with the stick figure, and it also helped me stick out more because I'm doing this that not a lot of other wrestling YouTubers are doing. And it's like, that's the whole point of me bringing that up, is because I'm not saying the stick figure thing or whatever makes me different from every other person, but like Small Afro, right? Like he's doing he face cam, right? Be like every big YouTuber shows their face usually, right, and whatnot. The stick figure thing isn't saying, "Oh, my stick figure's genius. My stick figure looks good. My stick figure this and that." It's literally not even about how the stick figure looks or whatever, because the stick figure looks goofy, which is also half the point. But also, I can't draw, right? But it's the fact that it's still something that's not done as much in this space compared to other things in the sense of things, right? You could take the most basic form of a video and what makes a video that, right? This video, for example, is literally a face cam video, right? How would I be able to separate this from another video? Maybe if I did this in a stick figure form. And I'm not saying what I'm doing is the first or most original. It's just something used to stand out from others. That is it. Not saying I'm standing out and that means I'm better or anything like that, because no, it doesn't. It's literally just something for myself to also stand out from other creators. That's literally it. Um, yeah. I don't know. That part was kind of spicy. I ain't gonna lie, but like, it is what it is. You know. I'm also reading the comments as I'm talking now, so I don't have to catch up on as much. What else could you say at this point? BD always seems more chill than the other guys. I really hope this is just purely constructive criticism, not like real beef. Yeah, on my side of things, it's not real beef. I'm sure on his side of things, it's not real beef either. Like, like I don't have beef with anybody, bro. Like I don't care too much. Also, stick figure is dope. Thank you. Yes, got the BD had to say I am fine with the content after I took me to say, oh yeah, no issue. I feel like some of his points are valid, but I also feel like he's reaching, like he took it as a diss when it was just a criticism of wrestling YouTube in general. Yeah, I mean, it makes like, because he's a part of wrestling YouTube and he is one of the bigger creators, I get why he would take it as a diss, but I don't get why he took it as a diss a lot. Like, I get it in the sense of everything I said could apply to him, but I'll be real with you. Like, I wasn't thinking of Small Afro when I was making the video more than I was thinking of like BDE or Santi Zap, or you know what I mean? Like, I just brought him up for the thumbnail part, but no, he has every right to feel how he feels. That's completely valid. Uh, to be honest, you're the only wrestling in YouTube as a stick figure. No, I mean, I don't think Corporate Chan is making as much videos now, and maybe there's another wrestling YouTuber that does a stick figure. I don't know. Uh, He's saying that like the stick figure isn't fucking beast. Thank you, 20-minute promo. Thank you, man. It don't matter, gang. You're unique in my opinion. Keep going, bro. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's gotta be an allusion to Grade A Andre with the stick figure thing. LMAO. I don't know who or what Grade A Andre is. Is that another creator? So I have a question, like Jaren said. Why are some thumbnails okay, but some aren't? So the thumbnails I highlighted in terms of when I was saying these creators should be talked about, I wasn't highlighting their thumbnails in the sense of I think their thumbnails are good. I hold those creators that do the Mr. B shit to the same light, like the same standard I hold the bigger creators to. I was literally just showcasing those people's content. I guess maybe I should have showed clips instead of thumbnails to better explain that, which that's on me. But yeah, that's what that part is. I didn't watch the OG vis. I'm just curious. He needs. Oh, thank you for explaining it. Also, mind you, PG Go ain't never scared to show his face. Yeah, and that's something else I saw online too. A lot of people were like, "Oh, he's just hating because he's hiding his face." No, dumbass. I could show my face whenever I fucking want. I've shown my face like 4 or 5 times on this channel. I literally have like 2 music videos on this channel where it's my face. On social media, I show my face. I just do the stick figure because I don't have a camera. I'm broke. that's literally it. The amateur stick figure is very standout in the wrestling scene, and paired with the gas music in the background. Thank you. That's another thing. My music taste is dope, and background music is also a big thing. And paired with the gas music in the background and calming voice gives it its own unique vibe. Thank you, man. On Twitter and on YouTube. Grade A Andre is an old OG YouTuber who sort of mentioned wrestling stuff sometimes. Wasn't necessarily a wrestling YouTuber though. Okay. PG face reveal when? Shit, I don't know. Well, at least you're going full Sunny V2. I don't know who that is. I ain't gonna lie to you. Got it. Thanks. He felt like you questioned his passion for creating the content. That's why he was angry. Nah, the passion I talked about was passion in the sense of taking creative risk and just being more ambitious with ideas and trying things that are more risky creatively and may not have the same payoff as what you know works. Not passion in the sense of I think you're sad and you have no passion or love for the game. I'm sure all the top creators do have passion, right? That's how they got to the level they're at because they stay consistent. PG, we will get you a camera soon. Shit, I hope, man. Unless I'm misremembering, you introduced me to Mavi, bro. That changed my life. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna say I put you on to Mavi, but Mavi was a big person that I use in background music in my older videos. Mavi is a phenomenal artist. I love Mavi. Programs music takes us goated. Thank you. I did not expect you to look like this, handsome ass. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate that, my dog. Yo, he acknowledged my comments. We up. Oh, so now I'm caught up on the chat. I take back what I said about Midcard now. Not like your pyramid song is fire. You gotta release more music. Thank you. I appreciate that. That means a lot, man. The Adultman vibe is dope. This is like the 3rd time someone called bro Sunny V2. Who is Sunny V2? I don't know who Sunny V2 is. Is that another wrestling YouTuber? Thanks, PG. Thank you. Jaren doesn't get angry really at all. This just feels like professional criticism, which your video was as well. Yeah. He was a commentary channel that talks about other YouTubers getting canceled and why people hate them. Oh. I don't know. I think that's a pretty shitty comparison then to call me that guy, but okay, whatever.
You know what I mean?
Oh wait, I forgot I went back.
Like I actually do like his style with the stick figure. But
I just want to hear that part again.
Well. But that's I do really like his style. Programs keep it.
No, and I agree with you. I'm not saying like your content should be viewed negatively because of that, but that's kind of the argument you're using towards my content. It's been done before. I could say the same thing, you know? But, you know, I don't have an issue with him, so it's all good. You see how that comes off, right? After everything. Saying that, I feel like, doesn't take away any of the discomfort, you know? It doesn't make me feel any better. I also don't want...
Okay. I don't know. I mean, if it's I don't know. If you feel like it's personal, then I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, it ain't personal on my side, gang. Sorry. I don't know. Yeah.
want to discredit the other creators that he mentioned in the video. I did bring up 3 specific ones, but he did highlight a lot of creative guys in the scene, and it's really cool to see. It's cool to see, especially on the 2K side of it, where people can be creative with it. I'm sure like mods and stuff help, but you know, being able to do anything new with a 2K game is revolutionary because everything's been done. That's kind of one of the biggest issues in that scene, is just like it's hard to come up with a new idea when there's not really anything new added year on year on year. If anything, 2K26 is basically the same game as 2K22. You know what I mean? So I respect when anybody can kind of pivot out of that and do something that no one's ever seen before. It's hard to do. And I definitely don't think it's something that you can do a different idea for with a schedule like mine. So yeah, you know, I do accept some of the criticism, and I will be talking about some of that didn't really go directly towards me right now. But just to wrap up the section where I'm directly responding to this video, you know, you have to accept criticism, because again, there's a lot of valid points in this, but I do feel like showcasing certain other things contradicted his points. He has very valid things to say, but the things that he shows in comparison makes me think that he doesn't believe super big in what he's actually talking about. It feels like it's only a problem when the bigger YouTubers do it, except Deontay, obviously. He's, you know, who doesn't love Deontay? Anyway, I've defended myself a lot up to this point, you know what I mean? But I have to—
I'm not gonna pause it again for so long, but no.
Who doesn't love Deontay? Anyway, bigger YouTubers do it. Big in what he's actually talking about. It feels like it's only a problem when the bigger YouTubers do it, except—
No, not at all. If you look at the content of the people that I highlighted, they don't do any of the shit. The content wise, they don't do anything that I criticize. Thumbnail wise, yeah, some of them do the Mr. Beast shit. I'm not a fan of that, sure. I agree. But the content wise, no, they don't. Yeah, like if you look at someone like Try from Queens, he literally does nothing that I criticize. Wake Up Noah, same, nothing that I criticize. Aaron Kamash, nothing that I criticized. Maycard, nothing that I criticized. I don't know. I think that one was kind of a bad take, but yeah.
Deontay, obviously. He's, you know, who doesn't love Deontay? Anyway, I've defended myself a lot up to this point, you know what I mean? But I have to acknowledge as well, as a man and a creator, that I have hypocrisies as well. I've messed up as well. I have flaws as well as a creator. So what I want to do is go all the way back to the beginning and tell you my journey as a content creator, so I can provide context into my mentality behind content, because I don't want to be spoken for when it comes to my passion about what I do. It was called into question, and that really bothers me. But at the same time, I have done wrong, and we will be talking about it right now. I viewed YouTube so differently as time has gone on,
the passion shit wasn't
compared
even
to
like
doing it as a hobby versus
he even
doing
take it the way
as
I
a
meant.
full-time job. It never felt different for me, but I have viewed the approach to YouTube differently. I'm from the era where you can sit here and watch a 40-minute unedited gameplay video, and then somebody will upload it and everybody will sit there and watch the whole effing thing. I used to watch 2K gameplay a lot, actually, when I was younger. Shout out Pulse, one of the only OG YouTubers that I actually did watch when I was younger. That's not Brian Zane. But I would also go back and I would just watch like random matches that only had like 500 to 1,000 views on them, because I just like watching those, you know, seeing the cool things you can do in the game. I was a big fan of the long form unedited content. That's why I'm a fan of podcasts as well. You know what I mean? You get to see somebody's raw, unfiltered thoughts without kind of being behind the mask of editing. That's why I like having this format on this channel, because while I have kid that does edit, we don't do boom, 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 boom every 2 seconds, which is necessary for, let's say, retention. But I also want you to feel exactly what I feel in my moment. Because, you know, I feel like if you do a bunch of cuts when I'm talking about something or emphasizing a point, maybe it gets taken out of context a little bit. So I like having these long form videos, especially when we do the unedited portion of it. Also, shout out Cultaholic. I love their podcast. I'm sad they're ending it. I'm a big fan of them. My favorite YouTube channel is a channel called Hive Mind. A channel, I mean, it's very minimal editing, and they just sit there behind a wall making jokes and playing trivia games for like an hour or 2 hours. And it's the best YouTube channel of all time. I love it because it's exactly what I grew up watching applied in 2026. And on a wrestling level, something you can also apply that to is the What Culture videos that I used to watch back in high school. I would get very excited for an Adam Blampier rebooking video or a how I would book video, which sounds crazy, but I mean, that man had a chokehold on this scene for a long time. And I think speaking on a content level specifically, I think it speaks to his charisma that, you know, when you can sit there and it's very minimal editing in terms of actual like big stuff on screen. It's essentially a guy sitting in a chair talking for 40 minutes, kind of like this, a little longer. and hundreds of thousands of people are tuning in, hanging on to
I
his
see
every
people
word. I
saying like,
respect content
oh,
like
that
that.
he
He still does
doesn't
to this day, which I think is
talk about my video much after this, but talks about his like life story, whatnot. I'm still gonna, yeah, this is a jump scare, but I'm still gonna watch the video and hear him out, just because like at the end of the day, like regardless if his video is an hour long compared to mine that's 18 minutes, which like is a funny just like comparison, but like I'm still gonna hear everything out, because it's like at the end of the day, like it it's not beef on my end or beef on his end. It's literally just us having a conversation on a certain dialogue and just having two types of perspectives on it. That's really it. I think a lot of things you're saying that is that his content is bad, when you're saying it's not bad. It just needs innovation. Exactly. Yeah.
I respect it. It still does just as well. And speaking of long form, unedited, let's play videos or gaming videos, the reason I started my YouTube channel was because of PewDiePie. I would watch him in middle school all the time. He was my inspiration for doing this channel at all. My first video on this channel is a Happy Wheels video. Take a guess why. He was the reason I started doing this content. And I love entertaining. You know what I mean? Like, again, I've not stopped this for 13 years. I've maybe taken a break once very early on, but I've been doing this nonstop since I was 13 years old. I'm 27 now. And the motivation behind that was, well, I love entertaining and I love making people laugh and having a good time and making videos and being able to watch it back and seeing myself have fun. But the reason I stuck with it for so long is because the goal at the end of the day, being inspired by PewDiePie, was to turn this into a full-time job. That was always the goal from day one, was to turn this into a career. Now I would do YouTube for free. You know what I mean? I did for a decade. I did it for absolutely free. But being in this position now, if there was ever a day where nobody watched me anymore, I would still be doing this. This is just what I know. It's in my blood. I love entertaining and making entertaining content. This is what I think is entertaining content. I think anybody who says that they don't want to be a million subscribed to a YouTube channel is lying. If you're starting your channel with the idea that, oh, I don't care how many subs I get, I mean, I'm sure there's some people, but I think for the most part, that's a little disingenuous. You want to be a top guy here. And, maybe you feel like you can get there in a certain path. Whether or not it works out, that's the goal you always have, is to get up there. You think I don't want a gold plaque over here? You know what I mean? Of course I do, and I'm actively striving to get there. I used to be on the bus going to my old job trying to calculate, okay, well, I have this many subs, I've been getting this many every month. Maybe if I keep doing it for this long, maybe I'll get this by this year, and then I can get... I was very trying to map out the time frame of this. Worked out very quickly eventually, but we'll get there in a second. The thing is, I thought I can get that plaque by doing unedited online 2K videos, and that's how I did my channel for 10 years. Monday Night Walker, and then an online mode video every single day on this channel, which was just me sitting here unedited, playing the game, uploading it to YouTube, right? I did that for 10 straight years, sometimes 3 times a day. I would do online My Career and Road to Glory, 3 videos in one day, and I would post them. And that's just because I just had fun doing it. You know what I mean? I never felt burnt out, not once, even still to this day. And I'm proud of the fact that for my entire teenage life, because doing that in that time frame helped get me here. Like, since the beginning, I had to work consistently from the start to get here. If I slowed down at any point, I wouldn't have been noticed by 2K. And that's where I was trying to get to from the start, where every path that I did, the consistency that I did, I was juggling, going to my mom's house every other day and my dad's house every other day. I was putting out a video every day still. And I didn't have a computer. I didn't edit my videos. I would record through Xbox and do it on the Twitch app, and I would just export those to YouTube, and that's my video for the day. And while it allowed me to keep my channel consistent, it also gave me time to do more creative videos on the channel, like this one. It's honestly my, one of my most proud early videos, which is a choose your own adventure 2K match. Where it's me
I'm
playing
this
against somebody, and
on a
you
separate
get to choose
channel.
what moves I hit,
But
or what to do. Do I grab a
I
chair?
sub to myself
do I grab a table?
on the
And
separate
your
channel.
decisions can either
So
help me
that's,
win my match
I think
or
that's
lose my match. You can literally, I'll link it here in this video as well. You can go back and play along and try to help me win my 2K20 match. I honestly think it's really, really fun to do, and it's something that you can, replay and try to get the other ending as well. I'm proud of that video. I really am. And doing 5 videos in one day unedited and uploading those gives me time to make videos like that. Because again, I have so much passion for entertaining. I have so much passion for creating. I want to do something that people will click on and leave with a smile on their face. That's important to me. So for me to bust my ass for 13 years to get to this position, you know what I mean? Like, going up from 0 to 25,000 subscribers took 10 years to do. But if it wasn't for that constant grind every day for 10 years, I wouldn't have even gotten to 25,000. And because I did, 2K noticed me. I was in the right place at the right time where 2K noticed me, and it turned into a crazy domino effect of me sitting in his office now, joining Vibe, learning how to do YouTube from Brandon and the rest of the Vibe guys. If you, bro, one of the first videos I did with them was, it was me, Dalton, Aaron in a triple threat match, and they were helping me do the thumbnail and the description of my video, and I still do my descriptions like, oh, what'd you think about this? Comment below, because Dalt had shown me how to do that before. You know what I mean? Like, I'm so grateful for the fact that I was able to join this group. It was right place, right time, and I feel like I got very, very lucky. But if it wasn't for that grind for all that time, I wouldn't be here. So honestly, while I do feel like I got lucky, I can't sit here and say I didn't earn it. I feel like I definitely did.
He did earn it. I'm not pausing it to respond to him. I'm pausing it to respond to someone who said, bro, name dropped every wrestling YouTuber and thought it was going to make him blow up. LMAO, just say you want the community to recognize you. LOL, you milking it now. I'll be real with you. If I wanted to name every wrestling YouTuber, I would have named a lot more people. But I'm just assuming you ain't watched the video and you just know what I'm saying, talking shit, which, hey, it is what it is. Thanks for the comment on my stream, bud. And yeah, I don't think I think I'd be milking it if I made a whole video responding to it. I'm doing the live stream just so I could have my response to it and it's out there and I move on. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's literally it. Yeah. I could also insert ads. It says here, if I wanted to, which I don't know if you guys been getting ads during the stream. I don't know. But I could insert ads here, it says, if I want to, or insert an ad, but I'm not doing that because, you know, yeah, I don't know.
So for me to bust.
And also, like, my video wasn't the reason for this video. I'm allowed to respond, but whatever.
My ass to be in a position where I can have a little bit more fun and have a more kicked back content sometimes. For me to be told I don't have any passion for my craft and I don't care, how can you say that to me? You don't know me. You don't know how I had to get it. You know what I mean? You don't know what I had to go through to even get to this position. It's not easy. It's really not. But here's the thing. When I did join Vibe and I learned how to start doing thumbnails and editing my videos, that's one thing I learned. I went from doing the unedited content, and I hated doing online mode after a while. I absolutely despise 2K online mode. You can see it in my face as the years go on. I lose my smile more and more each year. And I wanted to pivot so hard because I see all these other YouTubers doing all these fun videos, especially in 2K, and I wanted to do something different. So I got the advice, well, listen, you do it every day, take a risk. You do it every other day so you can take one of those days to edit your videos. So that's why I'm doing a video now every other day. The schedule was I record on one day, edit the next day, post the next day. And then when the day that I post, I film, go back the next day, edit, post. And the very first video that I edited, the very first one, I did a Royal Rumble with everybody that's not going to be in 2K24, blew up. The first video I edited, the first video where I did a cool looking thumbnail, finally, blew up. And I was like, wow, okay, I have to keep this up. So in my grind from, let's say, 30,000 subscribers to 100,000, I was trying to get as much attention as possible. And this is what I want to address. This is where my mentality started to drift off into the more money hungry, you know, click wanting nature of my channel. Because if we talked about it before, Gooner thumbnails. Now, I did the Reddit video with Brandon on my channel. He actually was the one that told me to do a Reddit page. He goes, listen, you should make a Reddit. I went home immediately and made a Reddit page, and that's why it got to where we are now, where it's become my most popular series on this channel. It's because he was like, you should make one. So I made one and it worked out, and I said, well, hell yeah, this is what's gonna get me, you know, up there. I'm having fun doing these videos. This is cool. I'm having a good time. I was sitting here editing them. Everything was coming from me, but I wanted to keep going. I wanted to keep doing it more and more and more. So what, of course, is popular on Reddit, and what could I showcase in a YouTube thumbnail and get away with? Ass. You know what I mean? And it started with me and Brandon. That's one of my most popular videos on my channel, is me and Brandon doing a Reddit video. Then the next one, Chris Benoit. Then the next one, but the first 3 videos. And those are all an attempt for me to keep that momentum of keep clicking, keep clicking, keep clicking. And in that, I think I lost what made a Small Afro video a Small Afro video. It's not just about that. And obviously I did it because I wanted to get more views. That's me being transparent. And I defended that for so long because when it was brought up in previous, videos criticizing me, it was more so about the fact that I'm exposing my younger audience to stuff. And I got very defensive about that because there are certain videos that made me like out to be some kind of like predator. Like I'm like preying on these young kids, exposing them to all these sexual things. And one, this is not a kids channel. We've talked about that ad nauseum, so I'm not really gonna go into that here. But what I never did in that process was acknowledge how cruddy that can be from an actual YouTuber standpoint. It's a cheap way to get views. And I never really put that into perspective until recently where I go, yeah, it definitely worked. And it definitely got me, to the point that I'm at now. It played a big part. But, it still doesn't feel good to me because that's not something I ever did. And that's always something that was always looked down, and I knew that, but I try to take advantage of that. And that is something that I regret. I've always defended.
Also, when I said Gooner thumbnails in my video, the one I highlighted was like the main case I was talking about. Like, I think the channel's WrestleMania or some shit like that. And it's like a journalistic type channel that reports on what's going on in wrestling and stuff. And they use a lot of Gooner stuff. They use woman wrestlers and their butts and shit and thumbnails and whatnot. And like that's what I meant. I didn't really like. I mean, I get why he's taking offense to that, but like I wasn't even thinking about like his Gooner thumbnails or like other creators that may do it for like Reddit videos and stuff. Like I wasn't even thinking about that. I was thinking more the AI journalistic type channels that do that. But yeah, yeah.
Defended it from a moral standpoint, but not from, creativity standpoint and how cruddy that could be from a clickbait perspective. So I need to say that right now. I do regret those thumbnails. I do. And going in that, I did the I Hate Professional Wrestling video, the first one that is taken down on my channel now. I think Kid actually, no, I edited that one. That was the first one. Where I feel like, and again, these are unscripted video essays, so sometimes I feel like I don't articulate my points well, but I had Anna Jay's ass in that thumbnail as well to emphasize the point. Well, AEW films their women's matches butt down to emphasize, that was kind of the point of why I had it in the thumbnail, but I also did that knowing that video would get traction and views because Anna Jay's ass in the thumbnail.
Basuda.
I'm not, I'm not acting like I'm stupid. I did it for a reason. But I also thought there was context behind it that somehow justified it. And I defended it in the video. I was like, okay, yeah, it's hypocritical, but whatever. I'm owning it. But that's a problem too. And I feel like I never addressed that properly. And I was a little ashamed of that video, and that's why I made a new one lately kind of clarifying those points that I was making and what point I was really trying to get across. But yeah, and I could go into every single flaw that I've done, but I need to highlight those two specifically because those hit home more as I've gotten here, you know what I mean? Gotten up in subscribers and viewership, because I was like, yeah, it's so, because if I went back now and did those, if I started posting, ass or whatever, and also I'd like to emphasize a big part of that where I felt like it was okay is because I was doing pictures that the wrestlers would post themselves, right? Samantha Irvin would post a sexy picture on Instagram, so I put it in a thumbnail. It was also on my Reddit, and I'm thinking, okay, well, if she's posting it publicly, I'm not like doing anything private here, so boom, you can see it there. No. With whatever kid audience is there, and you can see it here. It was the same thing to me, but it is cheap, and I never acknowledged that. So yeah, my goal from the beginning,
to be honest with you, I tried to put glasses on it, but I couldn't draw glasses.
Wanting to be as entertaining as possible while also needing to do the thing that gets you views. And it was weird for me to tiptoe that line for a while because I thought you needed to be as sneaky and devious as possible to get there, but I think you can do it with your authenticity as well, and that's kind of what I've been preaching for the last couple of years now, is just be yourself, be authentic, because the content, people will see that. You know what I mean? I have, just on an actual analytical standpoint, and this is attributed to Kid as well, because Kid is a fantastic editor, there's not too many like boom, 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 boom cuts in my video compared to, let's say, like a Brandon. But if you look at my retention chart, people watch the majority of my video regardless of how many cuts are in that video. And you can't say that for a lot of other channels. I think that speaks for how people like watching this channel, especially the entire thing. And I want to take this moment to, first of all, say thank you guys, because, while I have had hypocrisies before and flaws and maybe haven't acknowledged some stuff that I've done wrong, You know what I mean? And even in terms of a subject matter, I mean, the Tiffany Stratton bit, how many times have I talked about her? It's probably ad nauseum. I still think it's funny. But you know what I mean? I do talk about it a lot, and it can come off weird and creepy sometimes. So I tried not to do that, but I can't help myself sometimes. You know what I mean? That's just kind of my humor and what I do. But I need to say thank you, because despite all of those things, you guys tune in and you guys watch me, and you guys have stuck here for so long, up to this point where I don't ever want to slow down. I still have the motivation to do this, and I don't ever want to slow down. But yeah, so I feel like I acknowledge my flaws pretty well. I mean, I'm sure I didn't go over everything. I've been doing this for a long time. I don't remember everything. I mean, I could say the wrong thing sometimes. I'll give an opinion that maybe people don't agree with, or a controversial take that maybe I didn't give too much thought into before I said it. All these videos, with the exception of this video, and I'm even going unscripted now, as you can tell, you know, it's just going off the cuff. So sometimes I'll say things, and then later I'll watch it and be like, there's been a couple of times where Kid has put something that I've said in the video that made me go, ooh, I shouldn't have said that. What was an example? I'll even publicize it right now. It was me talking about a tweet that I posted about, like, you know, me when I see this wrestling thing in public, and a bunch of like actual wrestlers liked it, and I go, you know, it's interesting, because I feel like wrestlers are still fans, and I turned that into a conversation about, well, no matter what company you're in, I feel like everybody's goal is to be at WrestleMania, just from a wrestler liking my tweet. And I watched it back, and in my head I go, no, that's a good point that I made, and I looked it back and I said, I sound like a fucking asshole here. So I was like, this is not what I want to publicize. So you know, it happens
Yo,
where I'm not
do y'all hear the beat?
perfect. I upload a lot, but hopefully you guys can give me some grace on that. But anyway, enough about me. I do want to talk about the wrestling YouTube scene as a whole as well, because while the Prograps video, I appreciate, and I feel like he did nail a lot of points home, there is not nearly enough stuff being talked about in that video that is really a big problem in the wrestling YouTube space that I would like to talk about here. I'm going to give 3 examples.
Let's talk about it.
The first one, and this is why I don't want to apologize for my thumbnails. I don't think Brandon should apologize for the Mr. Beastification of his thumbnails, because you know what's worse? AI thumbnails. And we have a lot of them in the wrestling community. If you are gonna look at a video of mine and see a Reddit video or an I did every, you know, 2K game video, I will do that every fucking day if it's in comparison to this bullshit AI shit that we're getting. And I don't even know if I want to bring up names because they're friends of the channel, but there are a lot of people that use AI thumbnails and get away with it in their videos. So while I'm not going to publicize that name, I mean, there are some 2K channels out there that are using AI to enhance their video thumbnails pretty aggressively. And they get away with it because in some aspects of AI, it looks good and you get away with it. And people are falling for where they think, oh, this is just a coolly edited video. No, it's AI. And you know, there's people that get away with it, and then there's some people that just explicitly do it. You have the nasty AI font in a thumbnail. YouTube will literally recommend, you know, what a YouTube thumbnail should look like for the video you're uploading. I can literally upload a video, put a title in, and YouTube will just, boom, make an AI thumbnail of my face with the chain on and a screenshot from my video with text on screen. I'm like, bro, and then that's what people are doing. They're just posting and being like, cool, that works, and posting it. That was not brought up one time. And that is a epidemic, and not only the wrestling community, but the YouTube scene as a whole. We want to talk about a lack of creativity, but we're bringing the people that are trying their best down, while these people that are just half-assing it for real are not even discussed. I'm disgusted. Yeah. You know what I mean? Disgusted. So there's that. I feel like, you know, again, while I agree with a lot of those points that we talked about earlier, we didn't touch on nearly what in my opinion, the serious problem is. Because I sit here trying to work out if my thumbnails are good. Brandon taught me a lot about spacing, making sure there's no, you know, empty room in a thumbnail, making sure, you know, you're separated properly, your head's not cut off. I got a lot of fucking hair up here. Sometimes it gets cut off top. Maybe bring it down a little bit. You know, I put effort and time into making sure that a thumbnail looks somewhat good, even if it is somewhat repetitive, but I work. I work to do it. You know what I mean? I make every thumbnail you see is made by my hands. It's really easy to call Steve OG up and say, hey brother, can I get a thumbnail, and fucking have 30 YouTubers on your payroll having thumbnails from one guy. Shout out Steve OG, he's making a fucking bag and he's great at doing thumbnails, but that's a whole other originality problem on its own. Steve does not use AI, but you know, just from an originality standpoint, that's kind of the same thing that is not getting spoken about. And that's on a 2K level, you know? We've already talked about, you know, the Mr. Beastification with videos like mine and a video like Brandon's. But okay, AI thumbnails, I do not like. We talked about the hypocrisy with that because, oh, look at the profile picture for this channel. We're changing it soon, I promise you. Here's something that I do want to go deeper into, and it's not something that I don't think any actual creator publicizes, and I'm not going to go into specifics with names too much. I will mention something because it was publicized, but clicks. And when I say not YouTube clicks, CLIQUES, clicks. I had to make sure for a second. There are a lot of them in this space. You know what I mean? And I feel like maybe we're even in one where it's, you know, these groups of YouTubers. You have the mod community, you have the 2K clan community, you've got, you know, maybe the underground scene of YouTubers that do, you know, video essays or do, you know, whatever type of wrestling content that they do that maybe is a little less showcased on a mainstream YouTube thing. There's a lot of different sections of this that, and what I don't like about it is they're all talking shit about each other. You know what I mean? I don't like the fact that I know that there's a group of people out there sitting in a Discord server talking shit about us, like me, Brandon, and all the people that we associate with, and then come around and be like, hey guys, I know what's going on. We had a problem years ago with the modding community because we felt a little disrespected by some of the top guys in the modding community because they were throwing our names under the bus for no reason. Well, if I'm getting, you know, banned from 2K, you need to ban these creators as well. You know what I mean? Like, we're getting thrown under the bus because, oh, well, they're using my creation, so ban them. It's like, whoa, brother, I'm sitting here using your creation because you're good at what you do. I like you. I would have given you credit if you asked for it. But you're calling for me to be removed because you were removed as well. It left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. And what I don't like about the whole clickiness, and I don't even like that, that was with What's the Status, which what the problem was. It was a very public thing. And even, you know, I don't want to rehash old stuff, but even him tweeting stuff publicly, talking shit about other creators, it's like even Twitter, it's got a whole sphere over there of people that just hate all wrestling YouTubers. You know what I mean?
Damn, I didn't even know there was
think
beef,
low of everybody
like,
that is on this platform. And man, I feel like when there's so much vitriol and tribalism and hate in this community in general, we as creators are doing that ourselves. We're talking shit about our peers. I feel like something I've loved over the last couple of years is being able to link with a Santi Zap or a Conman or a Wheezy or a Mini or a Stash Club or some people that are on the lower end, like a Jay Leone or a Haven Rain, or you know what I mean? All these people. It's nice to have that kind of unity because it feels like we're all trying to support each other, whereas sometimes in certain sections it's just like, no, we hate this group, we hate this group, I want to bring this group down, I hate this group, we need to talk shit about them. And I'm going to bring it up, and we're going to show the fucking clip. Top YouTubers talking shit about top YouTubers, like Wrestle Talk, for absolutely no reason, shitting on Brandon. Take a look.
You last week because you threw shade at the man out of TNA. What's his name? BDE.
Oh, BDE.
Yeah.
It's not my fault. Look, be famous. Like if you want me to know who you are, be famous.
Yeah.
It'd be like if someone got mad that I was on TNA and someone else was like, "Who the hell is Luke Owen?" Why would you be mad about that? I'm not famous. Of course, people aren't going to know who the hell I am.
Imagine if you were on TNA.
I don't think they'd want.
Now, this is not even a critique in his wrestling ability. They are a wrestling, podcast channel, and their job is to critique the wrestling. And without even seeing a Brandon match, I'm sure at that point, the whole conversation was, well, and it doesn't even come off like a joke. Oh, well, be famous. My thing is, like, I loved Wrestle Talk. I used to email them all the time. I did stuff for them that, you know, was going to be publicized on their gaming channel that didn't come to fruition, but we had a good relationship going. So to see other creators in this space, so
yeah, I think that is lame though. Why
for no reason
why are they bringing
down people that kind of didn't do anything? It just feels like hating to me. And you know what I mean? Like, I would never do that to another creator for no reason. It's just like, that's why I didn't even publicize who I, you know, don't like with the AI thumbnails, just because the last thing we need is more separation. Why are we distancing ourselves from everybody? It's like, okay, great. Now I know you're not a part of this community. You're just a shit talker. And that clip really bothered me, and it gave me a bad taste in my mouth about Wrestle Talk as a whole, because then when Brandon then goes on a Chris Van Vliet interview, oh, then I guess he's famous enough to put an article about him on your Twitter page. It's hypocrisy at its very finest, and it pisses me off, because how are you going to talk shit and then talk about him in a positive light the next time? It's like, no. I heard what you said. it's baffling to me. The last thing I want to talk about here, and let's go to the originality standpoint, is video ideas. People steal them a lot. Now, we talked about my contributions to kind of the unoriginality and low effort videos that are, on my channel. But the thing is, with content, I make sure that the person that I'm inspired from to do a video is okay with it. I wouldn't be doing Reddit videos if Brandon wasn't okay with it. He's the one that told me to do it. Otherwise, I would just feel like I'm doing, a carbon copy of his content. I like to think our Reddits are separate. You have a very experienced watching a BD Reddit video than a Smallafro Reddit video, and that's what I like. But I also had permission from him to do that style. There was, I even hit up Deontay one time. Deontay used to do shorts where he would compare songs, like is a good song, bad song. He would kind of react to it and go off into what direction, he did that for a while. He kind of owned that kind of short for a little bit. I think Vibe did it as well, but he was the kind of one that inspired me to want to do something similar to it. So I had a different idea for how I wanted to approach a short like that, but I wanted to make sure he didn't feel slighted if I were to make a, hey, can I do this song thing where, go one way or the other? He goes, okay, well, I don't mind, you know what I mean? I'm going to be doing a couple of more of those on my own. So when I said, okay, I don't want to just look like I'm copying you, I just didn't even do it. I wanted to hit up and make sure he was okay with, the idea that I had that was inspired by him. I think credit is important, but a lot of YouTubers do not credit other YouTubers, and a lot of other YouTubers, and I will agree, because I was only talking about myself before, we do have a problem in this scene where people just stealing ideas and not apologizing for it or doing it, and being proud of the fact that they do it. Again, I'm not going to go into specifics. I think, those YouTubers out there that might be watching this video, you know who you are. But even we talked about the fact that, Dalt has originated some ideas that are still alive in the 2K scene. You know why? Because people took that idea and didn't credit Dalt for the inspiration. People just said, oh, that's popular, I'm going to do it. And they do that with a lot of content. And that's why I can agree and why I can't get too mad at the criticism about this topic, because it does exist. People will literally, and it's nice to get inspiration from other things. You know what I mean? Like me and Brandon and Brent and Ben did a trivia video on Brandon's channel where it's 3 WWE fans versus a knowledge quiz. That's a format from a different section of YouTube where people were doing that about, let's say, music or movies or something like that, that was applied to wrestling. While it's inspired, it's different. You know what I mean? It's also, we don't have a very close connection with these people. So, so it's a little more harder to manage whether or not it's a bad thing to make a video like that. But say somebody in YouTube on our side of the community sees that and then just does that exact same video. It's like, okay, well, I know you got that from Brandon. You know what I mean?
I actually have a point about this.
Sure.
So this is more of a YouTube strategy. If you're obviously trying to grow on YouTube, a good strategy to have is steal an artist. And what I mean by that is if you're stealing someone's content bar for bar, then that's a bad thing. But if you're taking inspiration from an idea that you saw and making it into your own, that's a good thing, in my opinion. So I'll give an example. A few years ago, there's a creator called Lil Simsy. She made a video where it's a number generator determines how much she spends on each room in The Sims, right? So say she got 60, she can only spend $60 in that room, right? I saw that idea years ago and was like, oh, that's really cool, that's really creative, and I want to take inspiration from that. So I took the idea of a number generator drafting my roster in universe mode. That's 100% where the video idea came from, but stealing an artist is getting inspiration and making your own. I think a problem in our community, specifically the gaming niche, I can't speak for any other niche part of the community, but in the gaming niche, I think too many people use the trend instead of twisting it and making their own. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's right.
No, I get it. I absolutely get it.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, man. And again, I've been guilty of that as well. Because even the I did blank in every 2K thing, it's that is just that video. You know what I mean? So I can't say that I'm completely alleviated of guilt when it comes to that. But
also, it's a trend. You did it one time, maybe twice max, right?
I think one was SmackDown vs. Raw, one was 2K.
Exactly. But that's the thing. I've never done it on SmackDown versus Raw. So you know what I'm saying? I think there are ways to flip an idea and make it your own. I think it's very commendable that you'll ask somebody first, because a lot of people do not.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people don't. It's no different than, you know, getting on TikTok and like right now there's like a little baby trend where like he like comes out of his music videos differently. You know, everybody's doing the same thing, but they're flipping it and make it their own. Somebody drops down from their closet from like their hoodie or whatever. Somebody pops out from a shadow. I don't know. It's all different. But it's all the same.
No, I'm glad he articulated that point because, you know, I didn't really know how to do it from my perspective. So it's cool to see it from your perspective as somebody who they do take video ideas from. You know what I mean? And I just think credit is important, and we don't give enough out. And you know what I mean? I can only speak for myself. I can't speak for Brandon. You hear it from him, but I can't speak for any of the other YouTubers in the community and what their motivations are and what their journeys are. But I can give my perspective outside of
little baby shits are
my own stuff as well. You know what I mean? So that's where I bring that up from.
The
people, I mean, Deontay, we talked about him. I feel like I didn't give him even still enough credit because even his original ideas, they're taken by wrestling YouTubers that are very popular in this community. He was even going to make a video about it and decided not to, which I think was the right decision. But it's a real thing. It's a real thing that happens. So I just feel like, and again, I was speaking from my perspective, but it is a thing that happens. People do take and don't credit. I've heard so many times about Aaron and Dalt originating an idea and it gets stolen and they pass it off as their own. And that's not fair to them. You know what I mean? That is the game that we play here, but I don't feel good about that. I try not to do it. You know what I mean? So. Yeah. Even the low effort content that you'll see here, like a TikTok reaction, that was my idea. You know what I mean? That's not, you know, to say it's like revolutionary, but I'm proud of that, and I'm proud that I get to do it every month because I'm the only person I know doing that in the wrestling community. Anyway, that's my gripes with it. We can go into a whole lot more, but those are the three biggest things that bug me here. What I want to do now is I want to talk about, and then we're gonna wrap this video up pretty much. Real quick, before we get any further in this video, I forgot to mention in the actual recording of this about another aspect of the wrestling community that people have an issue with that Prograps also mentioned in this video, which is wrestlers becoming content creators. And no, yeah, but he talks about Maven, you know what I mean, Stevie Richards, we've got Dutch Mantel making content. There's a lot of Devon Dudley. There's a lot of wrestlers that have turned to content creation, and people look down on that in our community because they think it's cheap. They think it's like oversaturating, the YouTube scene, and they're just talking about their own experiences and they're taking advantage of the game. And I'm going to talk about this very briefly, and I do want to know your thoughts about this. Brandon didn't know I was going to say before I started recording. Me personally, I don't feel right criticizing them for making content. Anybody can do it. I'm not, I don't think Maven is gonna sit there and people would be like, you're not allowed to do this. Why? You know what I mean? And if you don't respect maybe his content, that's one thing. But the idea that he can't do it at all and the subject matter of his videos is not something that he can do. I mean, if anything, he's got every right to do it. All we do as content creators and sit here and criticize something that most of us, ignore him, don't have experience in and don't really know what we're talking about most of the time. So to have somebody come in there that does, it's like, how are we going to tell him, no, you can't be a part of this? It's like, if anything, he should be a part of this, in my opinion. And I feel weird being like, I talk about the thing that you're a part of
I think that
all the time.
That's completely fair.
I'm going to be mad when somebody that's in it are doing that and you're more successful than I am. I feel like that's a weird thing to hate on. Maybe I'm missing something?
No, I don't think you're missing anything because I get it, and I also get what he was saying too. Because some of it's like when you were talking about clicks. Not saying they're all in a click, but like that branch, that specific niche of content,
it's just adding to the ecosystem.
When a bunch of wrestlers who aren't wrestling anymore are talking about their experience. However, to your point, it's like they have so much experience and they have stories that they can tell. I think if there's anyone in the wrestling space to be making wrestling content, it's wrestlers who are retired, truthfully.
Yeah, and it's weird seeing them play the game well, with thumbnails, with certain ideas, you know what I mean? It's just the same thing.
What I will say though, however, I haven't watched all of his videos, so I can't say he's the most revolutionary. But the wrestler that stands out to me the most after wrestling and making content is David Otunga.
Oh,
dead ass. he's doing the style of like Maven or even a Devon, but he's
The lawyer spin
kind
on
of
it is really good.
twisting it and making about Raw, like making wrestling
Yeah.
about Raw.
Okay.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
he's educating you about why
Yeah.
certain legal battles or
I think David Otunga one is
certain
good,
people
yeah.
get their names,
Yeah.
you know, whatever the case may be. I think that's really cool because like it's taking something that he obviously
That's
is passionate
that's
about
really
and
creative.
went to school for, combining it with you
Compared to
combining
like
it
Perry
with wrestling. I think
Saturn,
that's pretty
Devon,
So
and
I
Maven,
always
like,
hear,
talking about the same way.
I actually forgot
You know
about
what I
him,
mean?
specifically him. I always hear getting hate.
Oh, my
on
mic's
for,
so
like,
low. I have to like
the
talk
opposite reason. You know
mad
what I mean?
loud to be heard.
Really,
I like the
yeah,
David
deep
Otunga
dive,
one,
but
but
just from
the
titles and concepts
Maven,
that I've
Devon, and
seems
Perry
to
Saturn,
me
like
like
they
he
just all do
stands
it the
out
same way.
more than
That's my
everybody else. That's
argument
just a
for
personal
that. But
opinion,
I
yeah.
agree with both of them here. Yeah.
No, yeah, I don't watch it myself, and that's why I kind of don't want to touch on it too much because I want to acknowledge that I'm not like in that area. But yeah, that's definitely something that's getting criticized, and just from an outside perspective, as somebody that doesn't watch that content, I'm like, okay, but yeah, I mean, maybe you guys have a different opinion than us. I'm glad to hear your perspective about it too.
I will say too that no matter how you feel about someone's content, someone loves it.
Yeah.
You know, like say like Maven for example, Homeboy was saying that it's not the most original and he's kind of tired of seeing that kind of style. He gets views. I'm not saying that maybe it's right or whatever have you, but I mean, there's a lot of people who are interested in it. You know, they're like, I see Maven pulling hundreds of thousands of views. He's getting close to 1 million if I'm not mistaken. I don't know.
What the fuck is he actually?
Let me double check that. Yeah, Maven has 920,000 subscribers.
Oh my god.
So, like almost each video he has is getting like hundreds of thousands, to maybe even 5. Like it may be a little repetitive, but people love that kind of content.
Yeah.
And especially when it comes to like Reddit videos, like kind of going back to us, like in those kind of style. Like sure, it's not the most creative, but let me tell you something right now. When I meet people in public, even at like a TNA show, like once the show is over, they'll meet me. You know, they'll want to get a picture or whatever. And one of the first things that they mention is not wrestling or 2K. It's always Reddit. Like these motherfuckers love Reddit. So it's like, how can you stop that when so many people are giving you the in-person feedback? Like that's the reason that they love the content so much. It's like they love Reddit. And sure, it's a lot of kids, but I mean.
Oh, can I ask you a question on that real quick, and then we'll cut it and just go back to the video. But in terms of Reddit, and I guess I didn't mention this in the portion where I was talking about it, but outside of me, you and Santi, who else is doing it?
I mean, there are people who have dipped their toes in it.
But like as consistently as us, is there anybody?
I think that's really it. I think that's really it. Like,
okay.
Yeah. And like, I mean, like, I don't know about everyone else, and I don't even know for sure. So don't quote me on this. But I think I was the first person in our community to start doing the Reddit video.
Oh, because of KSI.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
exactly where my point was going. I was like, I got it from KSI. So it's like, I think that all points on both sides are pretty fair. I just think in a way, that's the weird beauty of content. Like, there's something for everybody. You know, people are clicking on these videos. It may not be for you. And I'm not saying that because he didn't throw shade at anybody in his video. I think his video was very respectful. I just think that content is content. It's being made for somebody.
Yeah.
Most of the time, I'm making a video because I find it fun. Like, I'm enjoying it. And I'm just glad other people do as well. That's really it.
All right. Well, I mean,
mic
you heard
is
our
super
thoughts on
low.
that, and I guess fuck you, Maven, getting the gold plaque on our head tops. We'll get back to the video. Thank you. I need to give some love to creators myself. We spent a lot of time, discussing my flaws, where I feel like I maybe should deserve a little bit of credit. We talked about the community as a whole very negatively, but now it's time for some love. ProGrabs gave some shout outs to some creators he likes. I'm going to give some shout outs to creators that I like as well, like a Lock DM. First of all, he is, how old is he? Like 16?
Yeah, he may be 16, 17 now.
And the amount of work that goes into a Lock DM video, first of all, it takes him months to do. It's kind of the whole point of my video where it's like, it'd be cool to, I guess, do a project that would take a couple of months where I'd be proud of that output, but, I have bills to pay. You know what I mean? So I don't have time all the time for stuff like that. He does. And he still has so much time. He might actually be closer to 18 now. If you go and you see a Lock DM video, it is unbelievable. The amount of graphic editing he does, like even for I made a 2K game myself that shows love to the players. And it's like he created his own, you know, I don't even know what you call it, CGI, edited, whatever, his own 2K game. He added a bunch of 2K creators in there to talk about, you know, his display and his vision
Is
for a
your stick
2K
figure
game.
balding?
He has such creative
I don't think
ideas,
so.
and he spreads it out where
No,
it's not
I don't think
uploading
he is.
all the time. But when he does drop, you know you're in for a very creative, entertaining experience. And
sure the great
he does
one
not
does
get
it.
enough
Love the
love
Survivor
nearly at all.
bandana,
I don't
bro.
see people talk about him when it comes to
Thank you, bro.
shouting out a creator. Locke, please go subscribe to him because he puts a lot of oomph, and he is probably the most creative creator in this community from my perspective, to be honest with you. JC Pentagon is the other one. JC Pentagon, another 2K creator, probably my favorite universe mode creator that exists today. I mentioned it with Dahl. Long form highlight reel videos are hard. I mean, they only give you 30 seconds to do a move that you can like actually like film on highlight reel. You have to get a proper angle for it and everything. And JC Pentagon's doing that for 15 to 20 minutes of video multiple times a week. That is dedication. That is way more than I can do, and he absolutely deserves the credit because you go on his channel and he gets a decent amount of views, but sometimes he'll get the 2, 3, 4,000.
Yeah, I cannot
he
make the
deserves
stick
more than that.
figure
I think
as
if you like
Dominican
universe
as I
mode and you
am.
want to see,
I'm
you know,
sorry.
something similar to Monday Night Walker,
Sorry.
go subscribe to JC Pentagon because he'll do it way better than I ever did. Now, I said I wasn't going to bring up people that I know. I'm lying because the last creator I want to bring up is my editor, Kid Kingpin. You know, it doesn't roll off the tongue well, kid. You fucked up with the name.
What's that?
But Kid has been revolutionary for my channel. He, you know, used to edit for, I believe, Murphs, and he does, you know, vibe editing every now and again, but he has predominantly been the editor on my channel. He has increased the production value of my content by 1 million. If it wasn't for him, I don't even think I'd still be in this position. I don't know if I'd be able to keep up with the schedule that I have, even with me editing the videos. That would have burned me out big time. Kid, you know, being around alleviates that pressure from me and alleviates that burden, that stress, and that time consumption from me. And he gets videos back so fast. The fact that I can make a vlog at a wrestling show, send it to him at 11 p.m. and it's on my channel with subtitles for everything I say by 12 p.m. the next day, that's a worker. And I don't think I give him nearly enough credit that I already do. I mean, he's become a character on my channel pretty much, but even just on a personal level, Kid deserves all the credit in the world because not only does he do my channel, he edits his own videos. He's a very big Deadlock fan, and he'll spend time, you know, chopping up their podcast, which Deadlock, you know, encourages to do Deadlock sync videos where it's like he matches up what Deadlock is talking about with the thing that happens on the show. He syncs it up and does, you know, timing very well. And he makes no money from them, and it's for the love of the game, and that's what I love about him is that he does this despite the monetization from it, which I'm sure he would like. I'd like to think I pay him pretty okay, but he deserves all the love in the world. He deserves all the credit in the world. Please go subscribe to Kid Kingpin if you don't do so already. He's phenomenal. He's hilarious. Fantastic. To wrap this up, I'll just say this, man. This career is not easy at all. You know what I mean? I've had my address leaked. I've been harassed by years, you know, from a guy making videos saying he wanted to fight me. You know what I mean? I've received death threats. I get made fun of the size of my body every day, about 15 times a day, to the point where I'm like desensitized as a human being. I think being a content creator made me kind of emotionless, where I don't feel anything ever, unless it's something like super serious that happens in my life, and it bothers me. And that's just kind of the role you take when you do content like this, is just you have to just take criticism and insults on the chin because that's just part of the job. It's not easy to do, and not a lot of people can handle it mentally. It fucks me up sometimes, but I push on because I love this. I do this every day. I don't miss an upload. I haven't missed an upload in years because I love doing this. I want to create entertaining content. I love doing this as a job, and I want to dedicate my full-time craft to this. If I didn't do the output that I did, I wouldn't be able to do this even a quarter of as much, because just juggling an actual job, my personal life with my fiance. I'm paying for a wedding soon. If I had to do something else, so the Small Afro channel would be almost a ghost town. So I'm grateful for the fact that I'm able to do this because I love it. This is my path. This is something that I try. Being in this chair in this office is something that I tried to get to since I was 13 years old. And I refuse to sit here in this chair and be told that I don't have passion for my craft or I don't work hard, or I'm soulless. I can't accept that. Video ideas can be a little more original, sure. It's hard to do that 250 times a year, and I'm not going to apologize for that. If one of the 16 videos you see on this channel a month is me scrolling on TikTok, I'm okay with that. I enjoy doing those videos. I have fun doing those videos. And if I'm sitting here making content that I do authentically enjoy, nobody else's opinion should matter. It's ironic considering I made this whole fucking video, but yeah, man, I'm proud of what I do. And I refuse to look at my channel like I'm contributing to something negative. I really do love it. I have flaws. I'm not perfect. I fuck up sometimes. I slip up. I say the wrong thing sometimes. I'm a human being, but I care and I have passion. And I think that shows in my content for the people that actually do watch my videos. So there's my thoughts on that. I don't think I'm ever going to talk about this ever again. I mean, I'm assuming this is probably going to lead to something. I don't know if other people are going to respond or, you know, these are my thoughts. If I ever did another video about this, you would hear the exact same thing from me. So what I'm going to choose to do is just move on. But again, I appreciate Programs uploading that video because it allowed me to have this conversation and be candid about my thoughts about the community. And I want to know what you think. Please, I mean, what I don't want to do here is heart comments that are just like positive. I'm not even going to heart any comments. I want the discussion to be authentic and genuine. So please in the comments, let me know how you feel about not only this Programs video, but my video as well, and your other gripes with the wrestling community, because I think discussion is important and it's how we evolve into a more positive future. Thank you for watching.
I agree.
Guess what the next video is? It's a Reddit. We'll see you in a couple of days. Peace out.
All right. Man. Okay. Okay. All right. So we are here at the end now. By the way, the stream having like 100+ people throughout the whole thing is crazy, by the way. Thank you all for watching and sticking through. Pretty much, so just some final thoughts. I've been reading what you guys are saying in the chat. I was just like watching the video, just like watching it. I didn't want to keep pausing and reading it. But okay. I think this was a really good video from him. And I think the whole thing of like the passion and soulless part, I apologize if that's how it came off, or you took it as I was calling you unpassionate, Small Afro, or I was saying that you're soulless in this and whatnot. But that wasn't at all what I meant by that comment. What I meant by saying I wish there was more passion and it comes off as soulless wasn't really you at all, to be honest. Like, I didn't have you in mind when I said that. It was more just the ecosystem of people putting together the same kind of thumbnails, of the Mr. Beast thumbnails, whether it's the big creators like you, BD, and whatnot, or the wrestling podcasters like Maven, not podcasters, but people that went from wrestling to content like Maven and them. Like, the ecosystem as a whole feels soulless in the sense of just the Mr. Beast thumbnails and the similar ideas. But you specifically as a creator and whatnot, like, why would I say you have no passion at all? Obviously, you got passion to keep going and make it this far in your career. Like, props to you. I could never say you don't have passion. I was just talking about passion in the sense of just the creativity aspect from everyone as a whole and more creative risk in that sense. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I did explain that well in the video, but if that is how you took it, like how you say in the video, like, I apologize genuinely. I didn't mean it for that way. And yeah, like, it wasn't meant to come off like that. In terms of everything, like, I do think there were some parts where it was kind of a reach in the sense of like how targeted you seem to have felt, which I apologize if my video or anything I said did make you feel that way. It wasn't my intention to target anyone specifically, more just as a whole. And yeah, like I said, is no smoke, no bad blood still. Like, I get I'm saying all this shit and then I'm like, there's no bad blood. I also said there's no bad blood or smoke right when I started the video because I wanted to really emphasize it. But yeah, on my end of things, like I don't really care, like to have beef or whatnot. Like I don't care. Um, all respect to Small Afro, all respect to BDE. Yeah, everyone that is a content creator, respect to, you know what I'm saying? Um, and yeah, the people that have talked shit back into me when I wasn't trying to talk shit, whatever, it is what it is. I don't really care. Uh, yeah, damn. I think this is my first stream ever on the Programs channel, so shouts out. But yeah, overall, I think it was a really good video. I kind of hope this doesn't start like a chain thing of people responding, because I don't know. It was just like an opinion on the scene as a whole, I think. But it's cool that my video was able to gather people together and have a dialogue, which is I think the most important part. That's what I wanted the most, honestly. I wanted a community dialogue in the sense of this is how I feel. Maybe others feel this way, and you know what I mean. And yeah, I think it took off pretty well, and I think I came off as respectful as I can and didn't mean any harm by it, honestly. But for those that did get offended, my fault. That was not my intention. But yeah, no beef or anything. W stream. He took the shit all the way to heart. Nah, he's valid to feel how he feels. Like his name was mentioned at one point in the video. He's valid to feel how he feels. W grabs, W stream. Thank you, people. But it's just the first 4 seconds. OGTRR. OG. W stream. Ryan Gosling as Ghost Rider comes out in 2028. I did see the Ryan Gosling casting as Ghost Rider. I don't know if that's like 1,000% true, but that was a little. I don't know how I feel about that. But would you ever do live reactions to old Ring of Honor and or other old indie matches? I mean, I can. I guess. I don't know if people want to. Do you guys want to see that? Do you guys care for that? I honestly, in terms of like YouTube and content, I kind of had no idea. I still have no idea what I want to do besides just like the regular videos I make now. I don't know. I don't stream at all, as you guys can see. I don't know if I want to live stream reactions and stuff. If you guys want to see it, maybe, but I don't really have an intention on doing it. I don't know if you checked it out, PG, but a pro wrestling sim series would be fire. Sorry for reposting. Nah, you're good. A pro wrestling sim series, is that like the kind of like the 5-star Booker shit, like that type of thing? Not gonna lie, your video and response earn my respect and I sub. Good shit, bro. I appreciate that, man. Thank you for being able to hear me out, hear my perspective, and not, like just being like closed minded or anything. Like I appreciate that. Thank you. I wouldn't mind more PG streams. Progress play W2K19 modded. You know what's crazy? I tried modding 2K19 after I modded 2K25. And 2K19 modding is so utterly way harder than 2K now with tribute and all that shit. That shit is way harder and more annoying. I'm good with 2K19 modding. I am on 2K14, the online stuff. That shouts out I don't know his name, but the guy that did that brought the servers back up, that shit is awesome. I think the first half of the Small Afro video was rough, but it came around the second half. I think it's like at the end of the day, bro, like me, him, BD, like everyone in this community, we're all creators. So I think regardless, a video like that where I'm speaking about other creators and just the space as a whole, some people are gonna feel a type of way regardless, you know what I mean? And I think that's okay, but I think it's preferred where it's something like this where he heard me out. I think there were things that were misunderstood on his end, I feel like, and I explained it on my end now. But at the end of the day, like I also don't fault him if I feel like he misunderstood some things or whatever, because he has the right to feel however he feels and have the opinion that he has. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion. Yeah, I think if I ever did make a video like this again, maybe I'll do things differently to avoid misunderstandings or miscommunications, or do things that highlight different things better. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know. AAA about to be on. Okay, copy. Fun stream PG Prodigy for the old Discourse. I remember or something too. 2K streams wouldn't be bad. I don't know. I kind of like my lane in terms of I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I'll see. I'm trying to expand more. I don't know. We'll see. I will say I'm working on a video. My next video, it has nothing to do with like this community thing. My next video is back to regular program stuff, like nothing to do with my own lane stuff, nothing to do with the community. But I think this was great. I think this was awesome. I'm lucky and extremely blessed and extremely grateful that this shit had 150 viewers at one point. That is nuts. 150 people live watching me is crazy, very scary, but crazy. And I appreciate people that came to watch, people that saw my video and able to understand the point of view, and people that did comment on it, whatever. That people that did comment on my video or the concept of my video without watching it. I saw this happen a lot on Twitter. Some people were commenting their own thoughts and opinions on what they assumed I was talking about. Uh, it is what it is. It's the internet. People are gonna do that. Those people are just kind of idiots. It is what it is. A lot of people did that. Some certain creators did that. I noticed, like that commented or whatnot. It is what it is. Um, Good response. Thanks, man. This is my first ever PR response. I don't know. I'm just talking, dog. Hella off topic, but I hope you and Noah make another vid that our pro wrestling video was beautiful. Thank you, man. That video took forever to make. Oh my god. Well, editing it was already hella long. That's like a 50-minute video I made, my longest by far. But bringing everyone together for that video was freaking, man. I had to wait on some people. Lord have mercy. But I'm glad the video was made. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. That's awesome. Yeah, that video was a very big passion project. Hello, our person is Pete. Thank you, man. Who's a person you want to do a collab with that you haven't done yet? I got a whole list, man. I mean, the people. I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm kind of weird on collabs. Like, I feel like I'd want people to. I don't want to reach out to certain creators to do collabs that just aren't. Not that they don't fit the types of videos I feel like, but just I'm not gonna reach out to people without an established knowing of each other or connection. You know what I mean? Like I just rather be more a genuine, authentic type of thing. But for people I want to collab with, like I'd hope one day to get Deontay DDJ in a video. I'd hope one day to get Alex Webb in a video. John Weigel is another creator that I want to get in a video. 20-minute promo is another one I hope to get in a video. There's a whole bunch of creators I feel like, and even like, oh yeah, I'll leave it at that. But yeah, like, and even people outside my niche or lane or types, whatever, like I would want to work with too. You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know. What's the McDonald's order? I haven't had McDonald's in a long time, but when I did go, the order, let me get the spicy chicken sandwich, fries, and 6-piece nuggets. Banger. Can't wait for the stream reaction to the inevitable Stevie Richard progress response. To this day, I still haven't watched Stevie Richards. I still haven't watched that AEW video. Yeah, same with you. Hopefully your video doesn't gather more opinions as it could get messy. Good stream, by the way. Thank you. I mean, if it gets messy, it is what it is. I don't plan. Also, the reason I did this live stream rather than a video is because I'd rather just be a live stream. I might delete the VOD just because I don't want it around, but I don't know. I also don't want this to be taken as like, I'm trying to be messy. No, I just wanted to make my response public, have this put a pin on the whole thing, and yeah. I want to write more about wrestling, but never know where to start. How do you come up with video ideas? Honestly, I don't. I don't know. I just kind of think about stuff that I like in wrestling. And a big thing I do is I search up my video ideas first on YouTube to see if it's done already or talked about or expanded on. That's what I do the first time when I think of an idea. And then after I see it may not have been touched upon like that, then I just kind of expand on it. But yeah, think of stuff you like in wrestling. Think of stuff you feel like isn't talked about as much in the community. Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of how I come up with my ideas. I feel like you gotta hop on UPW commentary. Hey, tell that boy Aaron to throw the mic. I'm there for UPW commentary. I'm down. David Tuggen collab 1. Okay. I really enjoyed the moveset video that you made. Feels like my voice is heard. Hell yeah. Pretty sure Alex was in the chat earlier. Yeah, he was. Crazy he was in the chat earlier, but yeah, he was in the chat. Otunga, you ever gonna turn heel? No, I think I'm a pretty nice fella, I think, even despite all drama and whatnot. But all right, I think I'm gonna end the stream, people. I wanted to just really do a response, have it be out. Like I said, I think this was a great video. I think it definitely helps me understand his side a lot more. You know what I mean? And I hope he does see this and he's able to understand my side more and understand that there were some things that I feel like were misunderstood in that sense. But yeah, all love to everybody, guys. I do not care to have beef, to be honest. Let's just keep creating, keep doing our thing. I've said it before in a past video, and I'll say it again to people that want to come up or be a creative, whatever. Just keep creating dope shit, please, please, please. And if you feel like you are someone that wants to be a wrestling creator here, please start, do it, just make something, keep like literally create whatever you think or feel like, because you never know how far you're gonna go and you never know where that idea could get you. Like, no joke, bro. And yeah, uh yeah, like I said, be creative, be passionate, y'all. Just be dope people, you know what I'm saying? Keep it going, keep the flame alive. And yeah, I think this is great. This is awesome. I love all y'all. New video, to be honest, probably what's today, Saturday, next, not this week but next week, probably be out, I imagine. I'm gonna take this week to really work on it. And yeah, I love you all. Thank you for watching. We hit 6,000 subs. Fucking nuts. Shouts out. But yeah, love y'all. I'm out. Thank you for watching. And I still don't got much of an outro, so I'm gonna leave y'all with a Prograps out.